All right.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Shake it back! Does that feel good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, all you Shake and Bakers, to episode 385 of the Shake and Bake Show with Lyle, swimming with the pigs, Barnett, Courtney, I have no idea what she's doing, but she's drinking wine, Enders, and super tired, barely hanging on by a thread, Stevie.
Stevie, how long have you been awake?
40 hours right now.
Why don't
we
you
left.
sleep on the plane, numbnuts?
No, I was actually working on a plane. We left VMP. We had to get back home immediately because we got an appointment at Competition Trailers to get our trailer updated. And our drivetrain had to go to get fitted in our new chassis at Quartermax. So we got home at 2 a.m., stripped the car, stripped the trailer, unloaded it all. Drivetrain went north, trailer went west, Stevie went south. So it's been a pretty rough couple of days. But we're down here racing. The best thing about racing in Brazil this time of year is the high today was 60 degrees.
Oh,
and it is glorious. It's glorious. High tomorrow is 65, sunny. It's nice.
The high here today was double that.
Yep.
Not really, but it felt like it.
I'm in Canada, and it was 96 degrees here. Or as y'all call it, 30-something.
It's like 31 and a half or something.
Yeah.
You brought that shit with you.
I just know that if it's – I don't know a lot about Celsius, but I know if it's in the 30s, it's hot.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know anything about Celsius.
Double plus 30.
Except zero's cold.
Everywhere.
So we've had a lot of crap. I was just home, Dana. We've had a lot of stuff happen in the last couple of weeks. So we had to miss last week because Lyle was on vacation goofing off. I was testing, and Courtney was on a moose hunt.
I was fine. I could have done it.
Right. Well, you could have done it, but you've tried to do it by yourself and did not like it. It's hard to talk to yourself for a long time.
Yeah, the voices start going.
This is going to be a super hot show. We got a lot to go over. We got many races to go over, and we got a hot rod guest coming on in a little while. I'm excited about it.
I got to tell y'all. So Molly and I worked very hard on an agenda because a lot of things have happened. So I am going to do my best there, Shake and Bakers, to keep us on schedule tonight so we can get as much Scott Palmer as we can, but we don't want to rob anybody of anything that's happened. So according to our schedule, the hellos are done. We're done with the hellos. We're going to highs and lows.
Wait.
Quick shout out to our man, the Hank Whistle. Hank's having a little tough week. We love you, brother. Keep your chin up, man.
Team us.
Forever.
Oh, I do have something that's pretty cool that somebody just gave me. Check this out. This is an ink pen. One of my Australian employees gave it to me, and it is so every time you make me mad, I'm just going to be like, pow, 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 pow.
You'll have that thing taped up, fucked up here in the
I already messed up his right hand. He's already gimpy, so he's like Rocky Balboa. He's a lefty
Take
now.
your voodoo doll and let that kangaroo beat its ass.
Oh, man.
Whatever. I'll take it.
That's fine.
I'll take that ass beat.
That's fine.
All right. Well, let's get rolling. Are you gonna, Courtney? Are you finally gonna do Deadbeat Corner?
I am, but first we need our high and low intro.
Okay, we got to do Molly Lou Q. Well, she might not be on here. She might be at the club. See if I can find the high and low intro.
Yep,
I want to know why I'm in the back seat in the car while it's going off the mountain.
Because you're
I
tired.
should be driving the bus off the mountain.
You'd be the last one alive.
That's why. So here's a true story, and I'll not cut you off. When Phil Schuler flies with me, he always sits in the back seat because he wants, when we crash, he wants to live longer than me.
Apparently, you need to be in 11C. That guy who was the only one to survive on that Air Asia flight or whatever. 11C is my new favorite seat.
Woo, woo.
Oh, that was wild.
Dude, that's the Lord. That ain't nothing but that.
Praise the Lord.
Anyway, so I will go first. My highs this week. I don't really know what my high was, to be honest. So we're just gonna skip that because I had a decent week, but I'm opposite today. I usually don't have a low. Life's just been life. We've been racing. It's busy. It's hot as hell. So low, it's time for me to do Deadbeat Corner.
Oh, I can't. I've been waiting for this for so long because I told you a year ago, you will not listen. I always tell you the truth and you run the other way.
American Airlines has me in a chokehold.
Where's the Deadbeat Corner thing? Hold on. Wait. Molly, where is it?
That intro is so wild. They have me in a chokehold. So we fly out. I have to rush out of there. Thank God nobody stayed in Richmond for the winner's circle because it was 9,450 degrees. So I was DJ Courtney, which we'll talk about later in the show. So I had to set a playlist and get out of there. Left the computer, left my walkie-talkie, left the microphone, ready to go. Poor Jordan had to come pick it up to go make my flight to fly out Sunday night. We get there. I'm going to make this short. It keeps getting delayed. We have to fly through LaGuardia because I'm in Canada and that shit happens here. So our flight from Richmond to LaGuardia, delayed. The LaGuardia to Ontario, delayed more. We're going to arrive at 3 a.m. We were supposed to arrive at 11 at night. I can see how this is going. So I tell Spencer, I'm like, I feel like we need to get ahead of this and call American and change our own flight before they rebook us 3 days later. And then it costs us 10,000 arms and 10,000 legs to get there. So we do that. The end result is we have to drive to Washington, D.C. from Richmond, go back, get in a rental car, re-rent it, get the one-way fee, drive to D.C., get a hotel, not cheap, close to DCA, in order to fly back to Toronto that next morning. We're leaving the airport and we get an email. Your flight has been canceled. We cannot rebook you. Good luck. Nothing. They do nothing for you. Granted, I haven't sent an email because I don't feel like it does anything, but on the plane, I really wanted to. But then the Wi-Fi was broke on the plane, so I couldn't even send an email. So I think that they do that on purpose when your flights are delayed. But thankfully, I have been jaded so much, Stevie Fast, by American Airlines that I knew to get ahead of it. But those poor people sitting in the airport, like, what are you supposed to do? Rebooked, can't rebook you. Have fun. Here's your money back. You're stuck.
Have a good day. Thanks for caring. That's what Robbie Lowry would say. Thanks for caring.
That was my low. We were supposed to get home Sunday night because it's a quick turnaround. We have Norwalk. It's Spencer's home race. It's Melling's home race. Got a lot of shit going on. And it robbed a day of my life. And I'm going to rebook an American Airlines flight because I don't have anywhere else to go. So that's my highs and lows.
So are you going to finally relinquish your status and start on a quality airline?
The problem that we have with these airlines is it depends where you live, right? Like DFW is a major hub. So if I do switch to Delta or whatever, which they would gladly take my priority and move it, I'm going to have layovers everywhere I go. So they have me in a freaking chokehold.
Honky Rocket Air can take you there.
Honky Rocket Air can't take my bag.
Yeah, you probably weigh us down. We'd probably be like,
yeah. No, we're good.
Courtney, if you walked up to the airplane and in these very large block letters, it said experimental aircraft.
Turn around and walk back.
I got in it. I got right in that motherfucker. And off we went.
And he liked it. And it was great. And we lived to tell about it.
Until you don't.
I thought I had like a takeoff video in here from
this is the guy. Lyle's on life number like 5 of 9. So you better start thinking a little more, Lyle.
That's very true.
I don't know why you're swimming with sharks when you only got fucking 3 lives left.
I don't fuck. I mean,
sharks too.
The fire didn't kill me. You tell me a shark's going to do it?
That's fair. So anyway, next.
Okay.
Hmm?
I guess.
Spencer said, have you seen Jaws?
Very true. That's fair. I did not swim with the great whites though. I don't know if Molly uploaded any Bahamas pictures or not. That was my high. We spent a week in Exuma. We rented a house on the water. That's real ocean water. Like, we're not in a pool. That's in a marina. Like, I'm standing on the bottom.
I can see. Look, you're like that ick. You're the Instagram that's like the icks. If you were to the camera below, the way that your legs are and you're like floating, you can't see me, but if you're floating, your legs look funny to me.
Looks like I'm taking a dump.
It just men's legs underwater is an ick.
What do you think the grit of that shark that you're holding skin is? Is that like some 220, or you think that's like
no? That's 80 grit.
I know the first time I grabbed a hold of one of them things, I was like, "Good Lord!"
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look at that bump,
dude. She's bumping out there. We're 10 weeks away.
Holy
10
shit! 10
weeks away from baby girl. Yep.
And then your life is over, big boy.
My dad and Tammy are upstairs laying floor in Nash's new bedroom as we speak. I have some lows, but they're not publicly on the internet. So that's going to be it.
That's going to be Shake and Bake After Dark.
Shake and Bake before the show started and you weren't on.
Yeah, you weren't there. You missed it.
Sorry, I was consuming my Pringles can.
Also, as a high, we're headed to Charlotte for our streetcar takeover this weekend. Those guys added Little Gangsters to the lineup of classes being ran. It's going to be hotter than the surface of the sun. But Jimmy Dale and Poland are coming in from Texas, claim they want to race for some money off the ramps. First test passed on Friday night, and I have obliged. So be on the lookout for some content in regards to a grut race. I'm not a big time grudge racer, but I just,
for you.
Can't let it go. Beer money is her own thing, and that's what she wanted. I asked her. Walked in the shop last night, hadn't touched it since we got back from Shady Side, and I was like, "Girl, what you want to do this week?" She was like, "Change them all. I'm ready to rip." So that's what I did, and she's in the trailer, and that's where we're going.
Those two comments are funny because Lyle, this is very you. Jeffrey, Lyle could fight a bear and win. Elin, sharks are afraid of Lyle. It's like that question on TikTok. It's like a trend going around. Like, would you rather fight 100 bears or whatever they are? Like, would you rather fight Lyle or 40 shark? Probably 40 shark.
You'd probably rather fight me.
I would. I'll whoop your ass.
Good one.
Anyway, I'm trying to get this tonight, but I'm already on my second glass of wine.
Stevie, you got any?
Yes. So I've got a bunch of highs. Probably my highest of highs was we've really been developing our engine program over the last several months, and getting Sidney Frigo running at the top where he belongs is probably definitely my high. Unloading that thing in Q3 and going low ET of the round by 300s, making it down the track every run that we went down there, and seeing him be in the mix to win was awesome. Look at this thing. This is the smokiest, most beautiful run of all time.
Of all time. Oh, I forget we can't have audio. I didn't think that was audio.
Yeah, because Tommy's going to get us. And on a 140-degree racetrack and almost 3,000 foot of air, that's a pretty mean run.
Excuse me, if that was Q3, it was 147.
Yeah, it was 147. It's like racing on. So we've quit. Me and Jeff Pierce usually talk about track temp by firmness. The last two races, we just say that base level is taking a pizza out of the oven at 375, and we just judge it by how long the pizza's been on the counter. So it's like fresh out the oven, it's 140 up, it's really gushy and slimy. Leave it on the counter for an hour, that's like 120 to 130. If it's been sitting there for like 2 hours, you're down to 100. But we've never seen track temp under 100, so not really.
I want to know what the highest track temp the NHRA. I thought about that as I was.
That's the hottest NHRA temp I've ever seen. I mean,
I actually thought about, we've got a like through NHRA like a stat group text, and I think I'm new to it, so I don't want to be annoying, but I kind of want to ask what the highest track temp they've ever run on.
They announced that it was the highest temp since they've been keeping record with the little
really,
at the race.
Dude,
on top of that, Mikey Cecina hauling butt and running good, running personal bests. We're really KTR customers really running good everywhere we go. I've done a lot of flying, so that has to go. in my highs. I've flown about 13 hours in the last several months. In the honky rocket, that's a long time. So this is week 13 in a row for me. Like I haven't had an off week. So this is the last week. But I think I got some videos of flying around. Here's listen to this thing when I get after it on takeoff and tell me that, Courtney, you tell me you don't want to go in this thing. That's awesome.
Spencer goes, PT6.
I love it. And then we've done a bunch of stinky cool flying like all over the place. You got cool clouds anytime you're flying.
You just feel like a little more free up there.
Yeah,
like
I am in a class 5 tsunami thunderstorm right here, nearly upside down. And
screw that.
On and so I've been able to do much fun. My low, I don't really have a low, man. It's really good. I don't think anything's happened. You'd say us getting crushed by JR in the semis was a low, but no car won out of the left lane in Pro Mod again. So we had a good run. We were there to get it. It was 200s, and we're making big strides looking at where we are at now versus several weeks ago. I'm happy with where we're at. I have no lows, and I'm looking forward to going forward.
JR Gray did send this to me to put on the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They keep poking at me, and that's okay. But
we've been poking at him the whole time we've existed.
Oh, no. JR definitely deserves to poke back. But
he said,
I told him the other day that I haven't ever had anybody that I put a target on that liked it. So
he said, ask Stevie how that 2-piece combo tasted. Figure you might need this for the ammunition for the show. LOL.
Yeah, we might need that. That's it's always good to keep talking about that. We just hope we keep that same level of enthusiasm going down the road.
I saw a couple comments before we go on from this. Chase said it was 151 at Tulsa. And that's
gross.
That's pretty gross. Actually,
I have a new initiative. I say racing season ends May 31st and starts again September 1st. Let's just kill the June racing.
PDRA kind of has it figured out. Like they've only got 1 or 2 when it's abnormally hot, and it's kind of nice. Like there's 6 weeks.
Or just do like the Radio Outlaw series. We don't race again until October.
Yeah, this is honestly a very, very slow time at Flow for drag racing. It's funny, the people in other forms of racing are like, why? Well, they come to a race in July. Then they're like, oh, got it.
Well, I mean, when you see NASCAR and round racers like Tony Stewart having to take IV after getting in a car for 3 minutes, that's hot.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's used to being in there for 3 or 4 hours in the summer and had to have a bag of fluids. It's nasty.
It is. I just bit my tongue to save for After Dark.
Oh, I can't wait.
One of these days, would y'all pay a subscription?
I can't, because whatever we would make, it would cost me in legal fees to stay out of prison.
Anything from it. You can't record it.
Yeah, they would. It'd be on the interwebs. We'd have to figure out how to
phone up and record anything.
Right.
Well, maybe we'd put it in the small print.
All right, we've got. I think we got some bracket bonanza updates. Looking at the schedule, I'm going down in flames on the bracket bonanza.
I have no idea how I even did.
I'm picking good. My drivers are just letting me down.
I am, but that's the part of picking, is you got to know who's going to do what where. I'll tell you, this weekend was tough. I think we've got some graphics uploaded from Bristol. If we want to talk about Bristol, Stevie or Molly.
I did really bad there.
You did do very bad there.
I've just done really bad all the time.
All of
us. Yeah, I trust you. You got gap, Lyle.
Look, I'm on top again. But Top Fuel, look how bad
you
finished last. Is that? Well, I don't even know how that works.
No.
How did I beat you in Pro Stock is what I want to know. I don't know anything about that. And how'd you beat me in Top Fuel?
I'm not real sure. I don't really remember what all we did, but the whole point is Red Hot Rod won and we didn't.
Yeah, Red Hot Rod crushes.
So that's pretty awesome. And we're almost to 500. So share with your friends. Do that. We're like 25 or 28 away from 500 people in our league.
Was our total rank? So that's what does that mean?
So
That's
there you go.
Virginia.
So yeah,
Wow, you crushed us in Virginia.
Virginia, you finished 23 overall.
The only thing I could about fuel there for some reason, and then I once again crushed Courtney in Pro Stock Motorcycle.
Yeah, what happened, Courtney? Oh, Matt Smith screwed me. I knew I should have gone with Angie. I had a feeling about Angie.
I thought Angie had it. God, I thought she had it.
Me too. I picked Braden Davis to win just because PDRA races so much there, and this is his last race for a while. I was banking on magic. No more magic, Courtney. No more magic. We all did pretty decent in top fuel that day. That's we were all sub 100.
We'll talk about Tony Stewart in a little bit. I definitely want to talk on that. Oh, good job, Demooch.
All right, so
I think
are in the leaderboard.
Also, I think that if they're going to leave the Virginia date in June, it should be a night race.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And we're going to get a taste of that. Seattle, we run at 9:30 at night.
Well, Virginia is one of the longest, most well-lit, flattest racetracks that there is. And if you want to race there in the summertime.
The problem with Virginia and what they did this year as a result of what happened last year, and I guess this goes into, we can talk about this in a minute, but the sun. When the sun, there's like an hour section where you cannot race there.
It is terrible.
You're going to have a concert. You're going to have something where you go, and then the fourth he says do a Friday night qualifier, then do 3 during the day after that break in the sun. But even then, when you run Pro Mod Sportsman and stuff, there's an hour where nobody can go down the racetrack. It's dangerous because the sun is what it is. So I think, and that's why at Pro Stars, they do the concert there and all of that. So that is something that they fight there, and they don't want to break in the show. So those 3 qualifiers, they wanted it done before the sun got to that point. So they did think about
how awesome Virginia would be if it was in April or September. Oh, we could go fast. We don't have
it's a phenomenal racing service.
It is.
Go to Virginia
and a really nice place.
Let's go to Virginia in April and September.
Like they used to for Houston. That was what they did. It was awesome. So we're going to talk about Virginia here in a minute. So Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, we just did that. Stevie, you really have got to have a magical weekend soon.
I don't know what to do here. I know more about drag racing than both of y'all put together. I'm getting my ass kicked.
Okay, first off, that's rude.
That is rude.
Obviously, I do not, because y'all are crushing me.
Yep. So here we go. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
There we go.
Wow, your face in that. That is just all of our mine's like, yay. Lyle's like, meh.
I think the Saturday night after we've been at the racetrack for 12 hours picking is bad. I think I need to do it on Sunday morning because you're just blowed out, exhausted. I go bang through it, and I think I need to do some more.
Here's what I do. I do it Saturday night, and then before everything's done, before I go down for your opening ceremonies, I kind of rethink it and change a few things on Sunday. So that way, in case you forget Sunday morning or you get tied up or whatever, it's there. Because I've said I'm going to do it Sunday morning. And then forget. So I think you got to at least fill out a gut bracket Saturday night and then tweak it on Sunday morning. So
I got to pull a superstar junior dragster into the beams Sunday afternoon in Virginia, and it was pretty cool. You're welcome, Miss Carla.
I got to announce them, which was cool.
I was more nervous up there than you were because I'm thinking if I screw, I'm not ever the puller into the beamer. I'm the being pulled in. I'm like, I'm going to screw this up.
Well, they all have their format.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. If you have not joined, join all of our social medias. We have the graphic on there that explains how to do it. The Shake and Bake League, code word is fajitas. There it is. But you cannot forget, when you go to fill out your bracket, you have got to copy your brackets to all of your leagues that you're in. That is the main thing that will get you. So go play Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It is awesome, and I'm winning. Bam.
For now.
Around you on the big end. I'm gonna put that KTR.
Oh, I got you by like 42 freaking slots.
No, you don't.
18.
You're terrible at math.
I know.
I'm coming around.
If you ain't first, you're last, Ricky.
All right, let's
Very
smoke
true.
Bristol.
All right, Bristol.
So, top fuel. Steve Torrance breaks back out.
I think that's
Dude.
very, very cool.
I think it's good for the sport. You can tell they're getting frustrated. They're putting in the work. Pro racing is just kind of like that. It's a streaky deal. Sometimes you feel like you cannot be beat, and sometimes you can't win around. So, but it's good to see them get back in the winner's circle. Funny cards.
The Capco boys, I feel like when they get into a groove, I pick Steve to win because they're a momentum-based deal. But Bobby Lagana shaved and has their Schwanger mustache, so I think they're feeling good. Keep going. I just want to mention mustache.
J.R. Todd smokes through funny car. I think had definitely the best car of that race, it looked like.
He lost him first round, huh? Poor Spencer was a victim to that.
Yep. Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
What happened?
Another Spencer, are you in the left lane? Or you're in the so no car, no pro mods, one out of the left lane in Bristol either.
Yeah, it was a pretty one lane racetrack.
So I think there was one or two in the first round.
Well, whatever it was, everyone in that class lost.
Right lane.
It was right
I'm
lane.
sorry, right. Yeah. So the right lane is where no pro mods were able to win.
Pro Stock Motorcycle. There was
That was Richard Gadsden's first man.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I had that wrong on there. That was my bad. I have Gage on there, but that's the next race. Richard Gadsden got to win. Badass.
First one.
Which
Yeah,
is
I
weird
picked
because-
him like 50 times, and then I didn't pick him this week, and he won.
Yeah. But I think what the coolest thing about Bristol was it's a turning point. We've talked about Pro Stock Motorcycle before being repetitive, this and that. Braden Davis came in, and I know, dude, just
That
killed
kid
it
can ride.
Do it like
on
he
a
flat
rental
do it.
bike. And that just proves what Vance and Hines is doing over there, and allowing. And I talked to Eddie Krawick about it the other day. If you want to sponsor Braden Davis, first I'll sponsor Spencer Hyde. But if you would like to sponsor Braden Davis, it's unbelievably cheap over there to have a winning motorcycle. And that kid is only running a few races this year, but he's incredible. Eddie Krawick said he's just like Gage, just a natural rider, and made a mistake, which I love that he owned up to. But that one, I called him out as a bracket buster very early. And I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with when he can find some dough.
Oh, shizzle. I concur.
Pro Stock in Bristol was the storyline. Here we go. Greg Anderson, congratulations on your 1,000th round win. Congratulations on your 149,000th race win of the season. We love to see it.
Just how's that taste?
I had to call it in the booth. And you know what? I'm a gosh damn professional because I swallow. Greg and I have our own little unique relationship. I love him. I give him shit. I saw him that morning. He was walking up the hill, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Getting my exercise." I was like, "You want me to warm up that left leg for you?" Like, and we were joking around, like it's easy and cutesy off the racetrack. But
You wanted to give him the
after what happened, and when Galvin looked at me to like call that 1,000th round, I'm like, "Really?" Swallows vomit, calls it because that's what a professional does, and I did, and because he deserves it. He's had a great career, but.
Speaking of professional, I got some comments about the duct tape on your shirt during our Shake and Bake promo video.
I thought it was the move. It may have made it work.
If someone had videoed me taping your boob up for the thing, it would have been awesome.
But you had the hat on.
That's being professional.
Yeah, I bought that hat. That's a hat I bought. The shirt, I've just been told, like, I'm walking a thin line here, and when I do Shake and Bake promotional stuff, I shan't wear the oval. So I didn't wear the oval, and it's not that I'm whatever, but I'm playing the lanes. And poor Evan Jonat, I talk to him every day now, and I told him what we were talking about on Shake and Bake tonight. Bless his heart, he goes, "Oh God."
If I had any sense about me, I would have taken a silver Sharpie and wrote Shake and Bake on your duct tape.
We should have, but it was quick and easy. And I was just trying to say, like, NHRA Courtney turned off. Shake and Bake Courtney turned on, and when I watched it, that's why I didn't share it. I was like, "Oh, that kind of makes it worse." So sorry, NHRA will figure it out. But anyway, back to what was going on in Pro Stock. I don't know if I ever sent it to you, Molly. I probably didn't. Do we have this scuffle video? Elite and KB, another scuffle. What else is new?
Chase.
If this one was Chase, look at Kim. Oh.
Your inside voice.
That was my inside voice. So see what had happened was, and NHRA gave me the opportunity to go to the Elite pit and do a report. Jason Galvin went to the KB pit to do a report. We both came out with the same answer. Things were very chirpy in the pit the night before when Tech was in our pit. And Royce Lee and Chase may have spoke loudly. Things were heard. And then right, I know. And then on the starting line, after I quote Chase, it's the hottest of the day. Everybody else ran the worst CTs of the weekend. He goes low of the event by 200s, yada, yada, yada. So Chase was pissed off, said something about screw a wheel. I'm going to go check your whatever. And one of the guys on KB's car looked at Chase and parental advisory said, come fucking get it. Not the move.
No.
Not the move.
We need more of that in Pro Mod. We need more.
Chase tried to go get it. And Fernando Quadro was the peacemaker. And the scuffle happened. And it's just what it is. Chase, you've been commenting the whole time. Where are you at now?
Stevie, just find me some money. I'll bring it back over there.
What I like about Chase.
I'm bringing it. No, I'm fixing to bring it back over there. We're fixing to get all that rectified.
What I like about Chase is he owned it. He said, I started it. It was me. So and everybody's like, what happened? This is not new. This is not new. Nothing in particular happened. Something boiled over. Somebody said the wrong thing at the wrong time. It's going to happen again. It's happened.
It's rivalry in motorsports, and I love it.
It's real. It's real. It's real. So that happened. But the night before,
Go ahead.
But the night
before, I don't want to cut you off. I'm on a tangent.
Well, no, I'm just mixing our things here. So the night before, what really started it was the Wheelgate. And I feel like that's where we were going next, is Wheelgate.
MacFab had nothing to do with.
I was going to say.
Man. Well,
Lyle, do you feel like that you're just in the eye of the storm? Isn't there a song about that? Hey, we got Wheelgate and Pro Mod going on too. Like in Pro Mod, everybody runs a 2-inch wider wheel and it's okay. We got Wheelgate and Pro Style. We got Wheelgate everywhere.
We can go buy a mutual tape measure at Lowe's and go measure. Those wheels are not wide.
A mutual tape measure.
Well, one that we both agree is measures right. Because I could bring one that doesn't, and you could too. But they're not wide. They're right.
So for the folks that don't know, Erica was running a bead liner, and the rules specify that you have to run a bead lock, which a bead liner is a bead lock. There wasn't clarity in there. NHRA's stance is that it states that anything has to be submitted to be legal. So there's a definite way to argue both sides. I, for one, not talking specifically about this, but I know we're going to get a lot of flack from this. I am impressed by the uptick on technical inspection in the sport. They have been all over us the last 3 races. I'm talking about they threw Jordy out in E1 in Bristol for a fire pin, and I was reinstated. They were all over Sydney's car every single time from the time we unloaded it, top end in the pits, data when the heads are off, and I like that. I like more technical inspection. I know everybody that when it falls on you, it sucks. So I know when you're the one that gets picked on, but more tech is good.
Speaking as somebody who shares the last name of the one it fell on for this, I agree with you, but I think that the consistency of these things and of the points, money, whatever repercussions that come from it need to be consistent and not starting in the middle of the season. We need to have clarification in the middle of the year. Like, I'm with you. I love it. I think it's great. Elite Motorsports has asked for more tech. We want more tech, right? So, but it's just the consistency and the clarity of what certain things in the rule book means. And when it's, a few weeks ago, it was a transmission issue and it was like, oh, we'll re-clarify it. Nobody needs to have any repercussions. This one, we're not going to re-clarify, whatever. That's where Elite is mad. It's not that they're ran this and weren't supposed to or whatever.
From like my stand, which I'm kind of on the outside. I mean, I've raced a little bit, once this year, but to me, it looked like NHRA got caught with their pants down, and to make up for it, and to, that's embarrassing that, that got by us or whatever, they just issue this ridiculous fine and points and all, and like it just looks like a childish, like you're arguing with your sibling and they hit you with a wiffle ball and you hit them with a rock.
Yeah,
it was very distasteful to me the way that they handled it.
I have, and again, this is me walking a tightrope because I've seen behind the curtain of Oz, and some people in my life have told me I've drank the Kool-Aid, some people whatever, but Spencer told me I drank the Kool-Aid. I've seen things, and when you see things, you gain knowledge, right? I understand certain things, but I have said this to their face, so this is one thing I can say on Shake and Bake is, like, you have other things that have happened. Consistency, that's the main key. You have nothing against him. Antron with the wing issue, he owned up to it, whatever. Clay Milliken with the wing issue, owned up to it, whatever. Those are performance-based violations that got so much less than 5 rounds of competition to points. So as a personal, Courtney Anders, the human being, the thing that makes me upset about this is not the violation, not the reclarification, not the money, not the run being DQ'd, not even points, but 100 points is a steep.
Yeah, and that's what like somebody just said it, Langdon, no points, no monetary fine. I mean, he lost the win, which is, that sucks.
He gets the points of that, but he still has.
It's so, and did Jordan Lasik get points or a fine of any sort for the fire bottle? Like,
and if it was like
20, neither one of those is viewed as a performance advantage. And I think it's so like in Pro Mod, they've been telling us for a year, if your fire bottles are pinned, we're going to throw you out. They've been telling us for a year. They've been telling Top Fuel guys, if you don't put the bolts in your can cover, we're going to throw you out. You're going to get lost. So I think it's more of a, hey, we're telling you, and you're telling us that you don't give a shit. And that's when they nail them. I think. Yeah. I'm not standing up for the tech department. I'm not saying that what they did to Eric is fair. I'm just saying that there is, when they're screaming at you for several races and you don't listen, you're going to get nailed.
Which this one was bit, and even Chase just said we slowed down 4 mile an hour. They were slower than Will should anyway, which is fine, but we didn't know that till we ran them. And supposedly from Richard's mouth, and somebody else mentioned the Comp Plus interview, he did talk to Tech. I'm reading it. I didn't work there that weekend, so I don't know. He says he talked to Tech and it was this and that, and there was a miscommunication, and that's what he was upset about, but that's between them to appeal it or not appeal it or whatnot. But I think the bottom line is consistency. Like, we want them to watch safety stuff, like with Sean's that we'll talk about in a minute. We want them to watch that. We want them to make sure everybody's playing on an equal playing field, but you got to be consistent with what you penalize people. Eric only has 6-round wins on the year. They took 5 away.
Right. And Brad, yeah, I'm not saying that the bolts weren't in. I just going off what I read. I know nothing about whether the bolts were in or out.
And I saw somewhere that those things are torqued to like 5 foot-pounds or something.
Yeah, they're tie. I mean, most of ours are tie. They torque to nearly nothing.
Spencer said 10.
Do with a set of channel locks. I mean, I don't. Whatever, man.
Well, we're going to talk about that there in a minute, but as we move along here, we're good on schedule. Look at us, we're handling shit. But yeah, that's my final answer on that. Is just consistency. We all want it. We all do this, but middle of the season, amp up on things always gets people a little bit riled up.
Yes.
So, anything else on Bristol we want to talk about? I feel like Wheelgate went way quicker than anticipated.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, if it had happened this race, it would be still big. Everybody's been talking about it.
We were texting the Shake and Bake group going off. It was going off that day. Lyle was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we don't have a show."
Yeah.
We almost had an emergency show. I was taking off and flying when you guys were talking about that. We almost had one.
It's probably good we didn't for everyone involved. Yeah. Myself trying to climb the ladder at NHRA was probably good.
Probably not. Probably would have set your career back. You'd have went from announcing to working the gate.
Exactly. Well, I guess I did. They had me on DJ this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about the motion. I forgot about the Motion Pro Mod in Bristol. It's been 2 weeks. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
A primary sponsor, Doug Cook, Motion Raceworks, stepped in to put us in Sydney Frigo's car. Sydney has a business engagement and was not able to attend, and it was awesome being able to represent Doug on the big stage. It was fun.
It was cool, and that car looks so cool.
Oh,
there is nothing cooler to me than like just a clean white car.
Yes.
He's right there. I see him. So, all right, cool. Well, then if we're good there, let's move on to PDRA Maryland. Yeah?
I think we got somebody in the background.
He's just watching.
All right, PDRA Maryland. So we had a great race in Maryland. Fletcher Cox came out haul butt. Tim and Scott Kincaid running good. Bubba Rager running good. Mikey Cecina running good. Fresh off the announcement of their acquisition of GRP rods, Winberg crankshafts, and GibTech pistons. It's been really hard for me to be quiet about that for a while. I love our customers when they do good. Mikey's like-minded like me and Doug are, like Lyle is, and we had a really good PDRA.
I was there in live and live in color, and it was a good one. And the schedule was honestly beautiful. Like they changed some things for potential for rain, which ended up happening, and got everything done right before anything rolled through. We were out of there on Sunday by like 7 p.m. and it was honestly, I wish they would just repeat that schedule. Sucked for Top Sportsman, Top Dragster losing a run, but it was nice. So I'm gonna just rip through the winners real quick. We don't have any graphics or anything, but Pro Street and Old Bonnie, Blake Denton.
I think Nitrous cars have qualified number one at every event and have won, I think, the majority of them. So it seems like they've got a stranglehold on the class. And
Pro
Jeff
Boost.
Pierce is doing a great job working on that thing.
Pro Boost Hetero, which I personally love to see because the 2 of 3 races that I've been to that they've had, they've blown up more shit than you do, Stevie.
Hey, I haven't blown anything up in a long time.
Than you used to.
I'm a new me.
But it's really cool because his energy, his vibe, like his driving, I love the era of Prince Tut.
Yeah, he is
and they are flat whipping ass all over the place right now.
Yep, he's one of my favorite folks to watch drive because he's really good at it. He's passionate about it, and he's a really good kid. He's doing a good job. I don't like racing him because he will put you in chokehold. So
he will. Pro Nitrous, Freddie Scriba.
Yep, back. Showing you why he's the reigning champion.
Beat the World Series of Pro Mod champion in the final round there, Steve King.
Yes.
632, Jeff Melnick. Who did he beat? Lexi Tanner. She went red.
Yep.
Beat Lexi Tanner. And then Alan Drinkwater. Pro Stock over there is tough, man, because they've got good drivers. There was 6 cars this weekend, but it's been a heavy summer for NHRA Mountain Motor, and those guys do that for fun, not for work, and the shit's expensive. But Drinkwater outdrove everybody.
Pro Stock Jesus.
Dude, he's
to
awesome.
See Tim Papp come back and start hauling butt again. It's like this thing, like he's winning. I go drive his car and we suck. He gets back in it and hauls ass.
He's so funny and confident. I love it. And after every interview, he's like, was that okay?
Tim's awesome. Jeffrey Barker doing a great job tuning that thing. We're really finding our stride on that car.
I don't know, maybe ChatGPT, if you were watching the Flow Racing feed, I went in to interview Jeffrey Barker to ask why they're running so well, and my camera gal caught what was on the screen. ChatGPT, how to tune a Pro Nitrous car.
Yeah, me and Jeffrey have a lot of running jokes around ChatGPT. I think at 5 a.m. this morning, he asked me to type something into ChatGPT and see what it said, and I did it while I was flying in the air, and it was pretty funny.
It scares me. It scares me.
But also, I want to touch on contingency. I got a lot of questions about this on social media, and I've said it, but I'm going to say it again. KTR posts contingency in every single class in PDRA. All you have to do is run our decal. If you win or runner up and you spend $500 with us on anything for the whole year, we'll pay contingency. And that's any part we sell. That's any service. That's any T-shirt. That's a dyno rental. You can call and get a
You mean
Hoosier
they can buy a bunch of shake and bake shirts and file contingency?
You can buy a bunch of shake and bake shirts. So it costs us a lot to do this, but we always like to give back to the organizations that are
But
doing
that's the way
good.
contingency used to be. Even in the NHRA, like when I was running back in the day, like you could make a lot of money running contingency running at the rate.
We will, if everyone wins and files, we'll pay $8,400 a race in contingency. So it's about the easiest program there is. So, and a lot of people have been taking advantage of it, but that's how contingency at KTR works, PDRA.
Did you file? Are you going to file, Lyle, when you win PDRA race?
Got to win one first.
Take a check from Stevie Fast Jackson. That's got to feel good.
Tim Papp very much enjoyed getting his. He's like, just credit my bill. I'm like, okay.
What if the interview gal wears like a KTR hat? Can she file?
If you win or runner up, you can get paid.
But like, there's.
If you wear a KTR hat on the interview deal, we'll do a little side cash hustle. That's like paid marketing. I'll get you that envelope on your desk we've been talking about.
We've been talking about
$20.
an envelope. I ain't seen one yet.
That's because it's growing. It's because it's getting more robust.
Anyway, wait, before we move on, because we got a couple of extra minutes, let's make sure we haven't missed any comments on PDRA.
Stevie,
here.
open your hotel room door so you can get your food.
Oh, there's food here?
Says, how the fuck did you know that?
Jacob just put it in the chat if you paid attention.
Oh.
Hey, thanks, team. Appreciate it. That's how you know that your race team cares about you when they know all you ate today was some Pringles and they bring you some Brazilian pizza.
I am. Jody says Courtney's rocking that VMP Parmesan. I am bad.
So, like, if you have never eaten pizza in Brazil, it is glorious. I mean, glorious.
Yeah, that was very crunchy.
A little crunchy.
It's very crunchy. It's like a flat crust. I think it's calabresa. It's got like a bunch of different meat that I don't know, some onions and stuff on it. It's pretty good. This is the absolute best. This is caramel and banana pizza.
Oh, put the comment out from Sean Berry. That's cool, man. Camden was handing out tickets at PDRA Friday night. Stevie gave him a high five and he said, I'm never washing my hand. But I will say, Stevie, enjoy your moment, because Sean texted me and first, so says Sean, I don't know, that he asked if I was going to be there. Then he asked if Stevie and Lyle were going to be there. He was probably just bumping me.
It's ladies first. He's just a kind gentleman.
He is a kind kid. I
But
love
nothing
him.
to do with that. He wanted to see you more. So
I love that kid. I
Put it
freaking love him
away.
and his little twin brothers and his newborn little baby sister. They're a great family.
It's awesome.
All right, cool. Look at us, right on time here. We'll move on to Richmond. Our first bullet point, guys, on our agenda for Richmond says parental advisory, hot as fuck.
Oh, man.
Very true.
It's bad.
It was not cool.
Says we got some photos about DJ CE. What we got going on there?
Well, Jason Logan had a gig. So actually, Spencer's mom made that. So shout out Lisa Hyde.
Put a bra on. Jesus.
No. But anyway, I was Jason Logan had a Disney gig, which we all know pays way better than anything else any of us ever do. And instead of not working that weekend, they asked me if I would sub in. So the last few races, I've been shadowing Jason and trying to learn his DJ system, which people don't give him enough credit.
That's hard what they do, and it's hot.
It was hard, and
he's
and
really
good.
good.
You
He's good at
learn like right there. You press the way you fade them. Like you can't hard out a song or hard it. Like you got to fade them in and have the volumes right. And
I would get arrested immediately.
well, yeah, there were some questionable things that I may or may not have done, but it's like your cue is silence. So they don't tell you when to play music. It's just if Galvin and Costello stop talking for more than 2 or 3 seconds, you play music. So I'm like waiting. And there were so many times where I'd press play, and they would start talking, and I'd have to like fade it out. It was a bit of a clusterfuck. Jason Logan, please don't ever leave again. But it was fun, and I got to jam out, and I got to meet some awesome fans in the courtside end zone, as we called it. So that was really cool. But it was very hot and
The courtside name was pretty catchy. I like that.
You know, we were talking for weeks about what it was, and then I think it was Costello that said it. Like that wasn't even one that was brought up, and he said it on air, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. we're gonna go courtside with CE. That was cool. So
I
played a lot of
almost
country.
forgot. Well, I forgot this in Bristol to shout out to Campsite 25. I went up there and got to drink some Blantons with those folks, and it was awesome.
I shoulda, coulda, woulda gone. He called me, and I had just sat down for dinner.
I
and
called Courtney, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I don't want to hang out with y'all and drink expensive
I
bourbon."
didn't say that. I said I just put food on my plate. Anyway, so all right, DJ CE, that's done. Let's go down our winners here. Austin Prock back up on top after 2 first-round losses to Buddy Hall.
And like that they're fired up. Like you can tell that
They
entire
are
fired up.
But round 2 of eliminations, he should have lost.
Yeah.
Jack Beckman hit the cone, so they got a lucky one there. But I fear that them winning is dangerous for everyone else.
Is he still leading the points?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is Austin Prock leading the points? Yes. Yes. I kind of thought that like fate would have Jack Beckman win that race.
Yeah.
That's what I picked. I picked Beckman to win over Prock. But either way, it went to John, and that was very cool. Brittany got a bit emotional at driver intros. Her dad came out on the stage and like gave her a hug and went back. And it's crazy to think that that was a year ago that happened with John. A freaking year ago, which means a year ago we almost had John Force on the Shake and Bake show.
This week.
God,
This week.
what a
Yep.
miss.
Mm.
What a miss. But anyway, moving along, Pro Stock Motorcycle, Gage Herrera wins, but Angie Smith rode like a boss, runner
I
up.
thought she had it. I really did.
Did you see? Well, obviously you did. You were there, but the round that her like wheelie bar shit
Yes.
came off, she
Yes.
rode that. I feel like I am her friend. I can say this. Angie Smith pre other crash. I don't know, but she's been a different rider ever since, and she handled that thing like we were watching it live, and the way her body was moving, she rode incredibly, like just absolutely incredible. She left on everybody this weekend. That Destiny Spurlock gal made a great first event.
Yep.
Awesome to see new people in Pro Stock Motorcycle, but unfortunately for Angie, Gage got her done.
It's gonna happen. She's gonna get it.
That's what screwed up my brackets. I didn't believe in my friend.
I think that Pro Stock Motorcycle is getting a little more exciting. I think that it's nice having more than 1 or 2 people going at it. And I think it's getting, it's not always been my cup of tea, but I watch it.
And it's close enough now where like things are being decided on the starting line.
Yep.
What else?
Somebody asked me if I wanted to ride one of those, and I do not.
No, as somebody who went through a 3-day clinic on it, you don't.
Yeah, I would not want to do it.
Nope.
All right, Pro Mod. We've got the video of the final round.
Oh, Pro Mod.
Tough deal.
Dimitri, number 1.
Lights are down! Oh, and he's gonna do it! Wow! How about that for an upsetting ending? Right there! The Russian going all over the track. The car lost traction, went into the wall. J.R. Gray, your champion here at the Virginia Nationals at 5 points.
I hated that for Dimitri. I really thought this was their breakout weekend. They qualified number 1. They ran very well. Adam's doing a great job tuning. I love the Russian. They won the KTR number 1 qualifier award, and it would have been cool to see him win.
Yeah, I hated that for him.
Yeah, that even if he just didn't win, that just was such a shit ending.
Yeah, that just shows you how volatile pro mod racing, and not just pro mod racing, that looks very much like Jack Beckman's crash. Things spinning the tires, you get behind it a little bit and lose it. Race cars are not safe.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Congrats to JR and team for another victory. They're definitely wearing everybody out in NHRA Pro this season.
That's tough too, because like at Flow, we have to clip the final videos, and usually you show the team celebrating and stuff. And I thought it was cool to see like JR's wife Hannah stood there. They made sure Mark Savage, everybody stood there and made sure he got out. But like, it's tough to enjoy a win when something like that happens.
Yes, it is very difficult.
All right, here we go. The big one.
Top fuel controversy left and right. I want to know what you guys think.
Wow, what do you think? Go first.
Well, we talked about it earlier already.
I know, but what do you think? What's your opinion?
Agenda?
What's
Now
your
we're diving
opinion?
in. So-
We're gonna get a professional's opinion in a little bit after this.
Man, I mean, I think that we're getting what we asked for. Everybody wanted more tech and whatnot, but I think that the tech department knows enough about how they probably another hour. I think the tech department knows kind of how those work, and that, like we talked about earlier, they're titanium bolts. They're not torqued to the gills. Those things are harmonically probably one of the most violent things ever. And those things rattle out. I think from what I understood, they were all in the pan. The ones that were missing.
Yep, they were in a bucket, is what I was told.
So, like, obviously they were there. I mean, I don't think it warranted stripping him of the win, but if that's what they said they were going to do, if they were not all in there when they turn off the racetrack, then I guess they did exactly what they said. But I don't know. It just seems like here recently it's been race after race. They've just been laying the hammer to freaking everybody, and to us as fans and whatnot. I think it makes them look bad personally. Everybody's like, God dang, man, no wonder nobody wants to go run NHRA is the way I see it, but I mean, I guess they're doing their job and keeping everybody safe, and that is what it is. So,
and just like Mark's comment, I can see both sides. They can knock the wheel off of it and blow the whole engine off into the stands and win the round.
Yep.
So I don't know, it's tough. I see both sides for sure.
I don't really think I know enough about what happens in a top fuel car when that happens, but just again from the other side of the curtain of Oz, since nothing happened on his car and it was a clean run, they say that gave them enough proof to say that they weren't tightened the way that they should have been before the run, since nothing blew up. Because I said the same thing, like if you have a pedal fest between two funny cars, are we going to start inspecting everything across the finish line because they both blew up, but the rebuttal that I got was, since nothing did happen on Langdon's car, those coming out proved that they weren't tightened the way that they should. But again,
more than likely they made a change like right before the run, maybe, right before they fired the car up and everybody's in a rush and they probably just didn't get tightened down. But
and that sucks because there's so much shit going on. But I had heard, I don't know if this is true as well, I had heard that Coletta and everybody had already left and whatever. And when NHRA decided and they went and told Justin that he won, that Justin had said, don't know if this is true, Justin had said, we didn't win, we don't want it. He tried to say no, and that's why they slept on it overnight. How are we going to do this? This is something that they hadn't seen. They had it with JR and Pro Mod, but this is different because a press release went out of who won. But then we're driving to DC. Thank you, American Airlines. We're driving to DC, and I'm like, why have I not gotten the media box of videos to post the winners for Flow? And it just wouldn't load. And then I got word of what happened. So that's a tough deal where you go do the winner circle, you take all the pictures, you get the trophy, you do all the things, you make all the posts, and then 3 hours later they say we're going to sleep on it. But I just think that again, consistency. So if that's the way it's going to be, and I did appreciate Coletta's response to it. I think we have that loaded up. Yep. Coletta Motorsports regrets to announce that the following: Sean Langdon's apparent run, blah, blah, blah. But they go on to say what happened. Some of the bolts rattled loose during the run, fell into the belly pan. Bolts were in place before the run, but some were not in a place after, came loose, fell into the belly pan. That's on us. We respect NHRA as the sanctioning body, understand that safety is always the most important thing, and we certainly apologize to our corporate partners, blah, blah, blah. Two very different responses from tech situations from two teams 2 weeks in a row. But that's, I mean, if they agree and move forward, then that's all you can do, right? Just sucks
It sucks to lose a win. These things are hard to win. It
Yeah.
sucks to win.
And then like today they posted a video. Usually they do the behind the scenes winning at the top end and all that. And they just left Top Fuel out, which I get because everything was wrong. But that's just a tough deal for everyone, from the social media team to the PR team to the tech team to the teams. That's just a tough chef, as we say here. It's a tough chef.
Sorry, I don't mean to be distracted. I'm in the midst of calamity.
Calamity. I'm reading some of the comments to see. Toyota teams have been getting hammered, says Brad. Which, well, I just don't know enough to speak intelligently.
Yeah, because like you don't know if you're not close to the situation. You talk like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can speak on the elite one, but this one all we have is what they have. So tough deal, but very dramatic.
Good time to bring on somebody with an expert opinion.
I want to bring on somebody that knows the truth, somebody that's put a clutch can cover on before. I'm excited about this guest. I want to welcome to the show my hero and the people's champion, Scott Palmer. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me. Awesome.
Man, what's going on?
Hey, right off the bat, I did read in the comments there, Crystal sent it to me, that Gary Dana says I'm an ignorant individual.
Oh, what the fuck?
Where?
I gotta find it.
I just seen it. I was trying to respond before I got on here. So that might be true, but I'll tell you what, SPR is not. We're not a bunch of pussies. So come on by and say that to my face.
Oh, we've started very good. Here.
Hello, come in.
And we're off.
You know, Scott. Well, I think we've all got a little bit of idiot in us, but we're a lot of fun.
Wait,
a lot of fun.
How did I miss
He's right.
that?
I mean, I believe he's right. I believe we're all a little bit ignorant, but
ignorant. That was it.
That's safe behind that keyboard. I'm like Tony Stewart. They're all tough behind that keyboard. Hey, Tony sent me a picture one time when he was having his shoulder surgery and said, "Hey, if we get in a bar fight, he's down to one wing." So I'm kind of down to one because I'm still a little gimped up, but I've been working on this.
Who doesn't like Scott Palmer? Like, what the?
Well, you know, Scott, talking about fucking around and finding out. I know you've already told this story, but I think it's worth telling again because maybe half the people on here didn't get to experience it the first time. Can we get like a brief? God, it can't be brief though. Just go ahead and tell the Alex Laughlin story from Seattle a couple of years ago.
We need to hear that again right now.
Please.
That's what
Right.
It takes too long. It's not even believable.
It's not.
Wait, here I got a good way to do this for you, Scott, so you can get to the juice.
Yeah.
Things were stolen. They figured out where to find these things. This is where the good story begins. They roll up to the scene of where the devices were stolen from, and
it's a pretty sketchy neighborhood in the outskirts of Seattle where there's no law and order. At the time, this was a few years ago, when you could call the cops and nobody would come. So Alex was going to go over there and knock on the door and see if maybe somebody's son had knocked their window out. And, you know, he's nice, you know, he's a nice guy. And I just told him, I said, man, there's nobody's son did this. This is going to be a little bit sketchy, you know. And so I told our guys, let's load up. And I said, anybody who doesn't go, no offense, because we may get shot or whatever, but we're going to go get that shit back. So because the Apple products the Apple products, he could track it. So he knew it was there. And the police said they couldn't do anything about it. So we load up and, you know, there's probably 5 of us. And everybody is worried about loading something to take care of themselves. I loaded 2 5-gallon jugs of gas and a propane torch that you ignite, sitting right here somewhere. It's my favorite tool. But so I load this up.
Oh, God.
We take Alex's rental car and go, and we end up finding where the stuff's pinging off of. I don't know all that shit, but anyway, we find where the house that it supposedly is, and the neighbors said it was a little bit of a chop shop, so we caught them coming out of the house, getting on their crotch rockets. And part of the story you probably didn't hear is, it's the weirdest thing. I looked down on this guy's gas tank, and he's got a pair of stainless steel scissors about this long Velcro stuck to the top of his tank. Who has scissors? Like my grandma did upholstery when I was a kid. They were huge stainless steel scissors. And so I'm walking up there to knock him off his motorcycle if I have to. And he's got scissors. So I'm kind of stalled looking at the scissors thinking, what kind of deal is this? So anyway, he gets off. We get his helmet off. Laughlin is really nice about talking to him. And Rick DeCousin, who's helping Tutterow, is now on Strabino's car. He was there, and and it just kept. The talk was going too much. The talk was going on too long, and the guy said, "Call the cops. Cops won't do nothing." So you say that about 5 times, and there's just too much talk. So I walked over to the rental car, got 5 gallons of the gas, walked over to the crotch rocket, poured it all over it, made a circle around it, and stood back and lit the torch. And I said, the cops may not come, but I bet the fire department will. So the guy literally asked me, "Are you going to burn my bike?" And I said, "Absolutely. I'll burn it. I will burn it. We're getting his stuff. If Laughlin loses his stuff, you're going to lose something too." And they went looking around, whatever. But anyway, the guy said, give me 24 hours, whatever, and I'll get it back for you. So normally I would have lit it because I hate thieves. That's one thing in my life I hate. So
yeah.
Anyway, I didn't light it. We left, and we get in the SUV, and we're all talking about it. And Laughlin, we get about 5 miles down the road, and Laughlin just slams his hands down on the steering wheel, and he said, "Scott, that's the most gangster shit I've ever seen in my life." And I said, "Yeah." And Ricky's sitting in the passenger seat in the front. I'm sitting behind Laughlin, and Ricky's known me. We've known each other our whole lives. So Ricky turns around and he said, "Pussy, I can't believe you didn't light it." That's what he said. But Laughlin wouldn't have got his stuff back. And no joke, he got every bit of his stuff back. Everything. That's the short version of it, which is probably the best to tell.
God, that is so awesome.
The preempt is good, but that's the guts.
It was a little bit of a sketchy situation, but I live for those situations.
So that was a really long way to say to whoever called Scott Palmer ignorant that if you do go by a shop, probably bring a fire extinguisher.
Just bring a fire suit with you when you come. Make sure you got that 20 layer on when you sneak by.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
He's absolutely right. I am ignorant. You're right.
And just don't give up.
God, if I had $1 for everybody that was going to come by and whoop my ass in the pits, stab me, shoot me, put a knife in my back, I'd be pretty wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you took that comment off?
Yeah.
Because
I knew you were about to go Palmer on them, and I'm trying to help you.
As you're saying this, somebody just ripped me.
And I could see a little vein pop out of your neck.
What, on the feed?
Yeah, they were ripping me about my hat, so I was about to go off, but that's okay.
Oh, man. That's a bad deal. I just got off the phone with Darren Mayer, who drove a 7-second, I think it's a stock eliminator car, on 8-inch or 9-inch tires today. Run 792 or something. Darren Mayer's never drove a car in his life. He's never drove a race car. And he called me. I was on the phone when Courtney Erica sent me. God damn it! When Courtney sent me
you had it right the first time.
Yeah, I know. When you sent me that message, I was on the phone with Darren Mayer, and he's telling me the story, and I was like, "This is the greatest story I've ever heard." Here's a guy who tunes all these cars, super genius, one of the smartest guys I've ever met, and he's like a 14-year-old kid driving a race car. He's telling me all this stuff, and he gets in a car with 9-inch slicks to learn how to drive that runs 7s. And he was talking about how wild it was. I was like, hell yeah, Pro Mod's easier to drive than that. What are you talking about, But yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, I don't know where that was going. But whatever.
So that's how we're starting the show.
All right, this is it. Welcome to if you know Scott Palmer, welcome to Scott Palmer.
Yeah.
All right, give us your.
I know where it was going. You're happy.
Okay.
Because Darren, I told Darren, I said, hey, we need, we wiped out a couple of your blowers at Vegas, and he said, yeah. I thought it was Trump or something. He said, you were firing them over there to Iran. I was like, hell yeah, I was.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, you're bad.
Bob Gardner says that you're his best friend and y'all have been on fire many times.
That's the truth.
Bob Gardner has got me in Blower Bob's got me in a lot of trouble, but he's got me out of a lot of trouble too.
He's never got me out of any, but he's got me in a lot. because I knew him before you did, and you got the tamed down version of Bobby G.
I got the tail end of the fully unplugged version.
Yeah, you got some of it, but Midnight Drags, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Bobby G. He had a dune buggy of all things that he street raced. It was the craziest thing ever, you know, insane. But I can't. Those are stories for after hours. I got a couple of them with him.
Scotty knows.
For sure. For sure.
So tell us what you think about the clutch can.
Hey, I also said something before we get off the game. The scary guy who doesn't like me for some reason. So I also read somebody read that I do terrible interviews. I was like, yeah, I probably do because I don't care. I'm not here to do interviews. I'm just here to work my race car and get my shit to the track.
I didn't realize there were people that didn't like Scott Palmer.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, there are. I got haters, man.
But you know, we all do, Scott. And I
That means you've made it.
I told Scott this when I asked him to come on the show, and he was very appreciative. And I can't believe, Scott, Stevie, tell him, the most requested guest we've ever had
by far.
Since Scotty Cannon.
Great.
People have said that show was awesome. Next one needs to be Scott Palmer.
Folks come by our pits all the time and ask when we're going to have you back on the show. Like both our fans love you. I don't know if anybody else's fans do, but you're our people.
Probably in our pits having a cold cocktail after hours while they like me. Hey, we allow it. That's team rules. Come on in.
The next time we're at the track together, I'm walking right into your pit and asking Crystal where that ignorant motherfucker is.
I wish that we had a video. So one time we were racing somewhere out west and we had done very well and we were celebrating, and we hear some racket off to the left side in the top fuel pits, and we look over there and there's a Dodge minivan smoking the tires off of it to the rims. And I'm like, who in the heck is that? And they're like, oh, it's just Palmer.
Like we runner up at that race.
I remember that.
That was actually the Capco guys. They were in my van. Oh, and man, this is one of them I shouldn't tell, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Bobby Logano was standing on the roof in that smoke. You couldn't even see him. I shouldn't tell this, but and Kale that does their blow, I think he does something else now, but Kale was driving the van. Because I told him if I won the race, I told NHRA, I'm going to burn this fucking thing to the ground at the finish line if I win this race. They literally came down there in the water box. Somebody leaned in there and said, Scott, if you win and burn your van to the ground, the tribal police, you'll be in big trouble. I said, I don't care. I've been in jail plenty of times. I am not scared to go here. No problem. So they told me that before we made the run. I mean, we're about to start the car, and one of the guys tells me this, you know. Like,
and they're talking about the Dodge minivan, like before you fire your top fuel car.
Oh, yeah. And then we fired it up, and I think we whacked the throttle 11 times or something.
I remember that, too.
So is it you that taught the Capco boys how to light shit on fire?
No. That's Bobby and Dom. They
okay. It's Bobby, it's a collaboration.
Those guys are the king of fire burnouts.
I never when Capco boys were on fire, and that's one of the reasons I get excited that Steve won last weekend.
Yeah.
No matter what happened in our pit, when they win, you go over there because there's going to be scooters doing burnouts and lines of fire, and they're going to be playing Ring of Fire, and there's going to be alcohol, and there's going to be things, and Mama Kay is going to be mad, and that's just the way it's going to go.
Yeah. Gary Pritchett was a big instigator of that. He was. He's pretty good at that. He's good at the game. I'm not quite.
He's slowed down these days, though. They got to have somebody else come back in.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they want to do it at that level. I think they want to win at that level, but I don't think they want to party at that level.
It was the horn. Like when they won, they'd rip through the pits, and they won every week for so long that when you lost and heard that horn, you were like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, and that's when they helped me when I was running the full season, so we parked right beside them. So that horn was like every single weekend. And then the two races we runner up during that time we ran the full season was, of course, to them because everyone in the country lost to them in the final round.
Right.
So we won a race because nobody could beat them those 5 years. So anyway, so it wasn't too bad to lose. But that horn, man, was pretty obnoxious after losing.
If you had a good day, it was cool. But if you had a bad day, it was bad.
Oh, yeah. It was fun.
It was very bad.
So awesome.
It is. All right, so I'm looking on our little thing. I don't want to get in this.
Tell us what your opinion is on the clutch can bolts. I'm dying. Like you own Top Fuel Car, you race Top Fuel Car. I know as racers, and a lot of racers have opinions, and a lot of fans do, but there's a lot of us that don't race and drive. So I have mine. Tell me what you think.
My opinion on that deal, because I know from the source. I mean, I just know what happened, and I'll give you a little lead up to that. Vegas, the end of last year, I was just getting back, moving around, and like where I felt like I could go top racing again. And we didn't do anything good at the end of last year, but we go out west, just trying to get rolling, and we had a mat trash in the pits, pulled the bell housing off, put it back on, and we left 4 nuts loose on the bell housing. And got to the finish line. They see it. DQ my run. Fine me $2,500 or $5,000, whatever it was. They said it could be $25,000 to $10,000, but fined me and threw the run out. So I was like, whatever, I mean, I kind of get that, I guess, but it is a Top Fuel car, and throwing the run out in qualifying, maybe that was okay. It's not like it hurt us any because we sucked that weekend anyway, so that didn't hurt so bad. But you're talking about throwing out Connie Kalitta's car that won the race for an inspection cover, both shaken out in a 150-degree track where you're putting holes out and detonation. When a hole goes out, it shakes the thing apart. I mean, shit comes loose on everything. And I heard y'all talking about it earlier. They torque to like 10 or 15 pounds, and if you go any more, they strip. So I mean, you just don't. You can't over torque them. Maybe take. I don't even know. It's kind of like Eric's deal. It blows my mind that they did the penalty deal on this. So,
do you feel that like maybe keeping the win and giving a monetary fine because of safety infraction would have been more fair?
Well, I think taking the points, and if you're not a top 10 car or something, I think the monetary fine kills you because you're a low budget team. But I think if you're in the points hunt and you take their win away from them, and you take rounds away from them, well,
that's more important than money. Richard even said, like, I'd rather them
exactly
50 grand.
I see what they're doing. There's rules in place for a reason, but man, there's got to be some kind of exception. In the final round, I can tell you right now, I would still be in trouble in Virginia right now if I'd won a race and they'd taken it away from me for that.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would get the race win back, but they wouldn't get the Wally back. I can guarantee you that.
Not a chance.
There's no chance in ever them getting the Wally back.
Did J.R. Gray keep his bypass Wally?
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know that. I would hope so.
I think he might have.
That was a bad one. That was a bad deal.
Yeah, I think he bought Chris Thorne a real one. I think that's the way that worked. Regardless, whatever.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But anyway.
So that's my opinion on that. That don't mean anything because I'm, it's not like.
Well, no, it does, because your situation was as similar as any other situation has been, and I know that your situation came up in their decision-making factor.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and all these guys that work on these cars. Think about how hot it was, and you were going up.
Oh, it was miserable.
And you got to leave those inspection cover bolts. We have a couple of them in there, and then Jim he'll leave them loose right up until the last minute, especially when it's hot like that, because you may have to peel a bunch of weight off or make a change and then run them back in. I mean, it's not like you have a torque wrench that goes to 10 foot-pounds in the staging lanes with you. You run them up and snug them, and then the thing spins the tire, puts a hole out, whatever. If it's spinning a little bit, the vibration in those things shakes everything loose. But I did hear you say something that I told somebody today. You could drag the clutch behind you. You could blow the clutch out of the car because, like on our case, it was on the bell housing to the motor. So that was a little more critical, probably. But if we went across the finish line with the bell housing dragging behind us, no problem. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Blew it up.
We'll sweep that up. But they didn't even. They had no problem and got the wind taken away from them. Man, that's tough. That's hard to take. Yeah. I would say even Justin Ashley and those guys are probably going, ooh, man, that's probably.
Well, I mean, the rumor is he refused the win. We haven't confirmed.
I mean,
that,
he can't literally refuse the points. They're going to distribute how they were, but
yeah.
Rumor was Sunday night. He said, "We're not doing that. We're not taking that, Wally."
I believe that.
I do too, because that's how they roll there too. And every other team can put themselves in Coletta's situation right there and say like,
Oh, every single one of them. And Mike Green and Justin, those guys, man, they're hardcore.
They've run it up the last 142 races in a row.
Right.
Like they don't want to win like that.
Oh, they don't want that win like that.
No one wants to win like that.
Because they'll get on a hot streak, probably in the countdown and pour it on, So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't like that. But I hate to see it. What if Connie Coletta said, I'm done? Then you got
right. Be like, you know what? You're right. Don't worry about it. Like
that was a conversation that we had on Sunday night. Like that's a real thought that he could say at any given moment, like one little thing.
That would be devastating,
catastrophic,
and funny car. Yeah, and I'm a little biased too because I'm a huge Coletta fan. Me and Doug Coletta are friends, and I mean he's like, to me, the ultimate racer. He's done it all. He's like Tony Stewart, but without the exposure. Because back when he ran sprint cars, I used to watch him on Thursday night. I think it was called American Sports Cavalcade or something. I was young, and it was come on Thursday night. I mean, Lyle, you probably weren't even born then. You had eyebrows then.
Probably did. Don't know fucking more, but.
And that is going to be the clip that we clip for the.
Yep. There's your commercial, Lyle, for MacFab this week.
Thank you for watching Shake and Bake, where Scott Palmer just schooled Lyle Barnett. Good night.
You're an ignorant motherfucker. You know that.
He got me at Martin, Michigan. You got me good at Martin, Michigan. When we rolled into the lanes in the semis or whatever it was, and you were asking me what that was sticking out of the hood. That antique thing hanging out of the hood of that orange scooter.
Scott had a Magneto on a Pro Mod. I was like,
grid.
What the fuck is that? You gonna reach in there and turn that thing, give it a couple of degrees? Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Well, before you were born, the way they ran that on a top fuel car is you actually had a lever that pulled the mag. That's how you advanced the timing.
Yeah.
Like, that was cool shit back then.
Yeah, it had like a mechanical deal that physically moved the mag back.
Pulled the mag.
That's some antique stuff. My first car had it on it when I got it. 23 years ago, I got a top fuel car.
I bet when that went wrong, it'd rattle the can bolts loose.
I don't know. Back then, everything went wrong every run we made, so it didn't really matter.
Nobody was post-run checking bolts.
No, nobody was checking nothing.
All right, so I've been arguing with Phil Schuler about this for 10 years. I tell him all the time that I want a top fuel car. And, I don't have money to race it or anything, but I can probably, get it. And I can probably get it where I could start it or something, And he's like, you can't casually own a top fuel car. And I'm like, yes, I can, Phil. I can work all year and take it to one race. I know I won't qualify, but, I'll go out there and have fun. He's like, you cannot be a casual top fuel racer.
Maybe there's only 14 cars.
I told Phil after they qualified 14th this week with that crowd-pleasing 870 that I was going to enter my Pro Mod in there, and I out-qualified him by 3 seconds. So, anyways, what is your opinion on casual top fuel ownership?
Very difficult.
Is it just like they don't do it?
I got 2 of them sitting here. You better off just borrowing one for the weekend.
Deal. Stevie.
Got it. Me and Lyle will be there in the morning. Honky rocket.
Just teach me how to crank the honky rocket. I'll pick you up somewhere between here and El Pablo, wherever the fuck you're at.
Hey, when I got my first top fuel car, I didn't even know how to start one.
Krista.
I had no clue how to start one at all. It was me and Spencer Massey, and we were coming back from Pomona with my alcohol funny car, which is up on the pallet racks here. But anyway, I decided I'm going to get a top fuel car because it costs too much to run alcohol funny car. Now, does that make any sense? That's a
No.
That's not very accurate.
That's not very accurate at all.
That is something an ignorant motherfucker would do.
Hey, Eric, he's right. You know what? I like this guy. Me and him may be friends by the time this interview's over. We may be, but we're gonna have a big beer together. Oh my God! But so by the time we got back, Spencer said, "Hey, if you really get a top fuel car, I'll move to Missouri from Fort Worth." So he moved to our local track in a little trailer house. We got a top fuel car. We get it sitting there. I'm making this long story short too. We got it sitting in my little paint shop, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know how to start one." I mean, I heard they're dangerous, so we can't just like fire it up, So we called Brent Fanning. Y'all remember Brent Fanning that dumped the cow shit on the starting line of the U.S. Nationals in the early 90s?
Yep.
Yeah.
And got banned from NHRA. What a perfect guy to call to teach me, because that's the kind of guys I
That
like.
explains a lot, Scott.
That's your people.
That's my people right there. And he's still to this day. He works for Kenny Laughlin's dad and has for years. He's still around, and he's still, I consider him one of the smartest guys out there. And he's smart enough to know where not to put money. So he actually taught us a lot. But anyway, we went and ran Top Fuel. And I mean, yeah, we sucked, but we didn't suck that bad. I mean, I'm still doing it. I started with nothing, and I'm still doing it.
So maybe the key to wealth is to get a casual top fuel car for me.
And be ignorant.
And be ignorant. Well, I'm plenty ignorant. I got the ignorant game down.
Krista Baldwin says don't do it.
Yeah, Krista, she knows too. She knows.
So maybe we need an association of casual top fuel owners like MetaShare. Like we all chip in like some money and like we'll get one car and share it. Like you could drive it this week and I get next week. And
That's not a bad idea right there.
You get like 5 or 6 like-minded folks. We can get a couple decent motors, get Phil to help.
We just go ahead and seal this deal with Scott's second car right now. Fuck, we'll show up end of the year.
This is taking
Going
a
up
turn.
flames.
This is going the wrong way.
Phil can't do it. Phil can't be there. You know why?
Why?
Phil don't know how to back them things down and go slow. And
Right.
He is not the definition of casual top fuel.
No,
I need that. I need to keep the heads on it and stuff. And like, I don't want to be the flaming fajita going through the lights. Like we can't do any of that.
It sells T-shirts.
Yeah. But you know how many shirts you got to sell every time I catch something on fire? A lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Studebaker fireballed whenever I crashed it, but it didn't sell enough shirts to take up the slack. Oh, J.R. Sandlin, he ended up buying me the new one. He bought it and had it shipped to my shop, the new Nitro Pro Mod, the old Chevy. Oh, it's sitting behind me, yeah. But he ended up buying that because I couldn't sell enough T-shirts to get another one.
How close is that thing to being ready to rip?
Super close. Really close. I mean,
I feel like this is a wonderful transition to the dark side of our interview.
but there is no dark side in my world. It's all
don't forget about that. We now have a crowd sharing shake and bake top fuel car coming. So like,
don't fuck this up for us.
I want to drive the
He wants to drive the Studebaker. I'm not real sure.
Studebaker's got-
He wants to drive the new Nitro Pro Mod.
Oh, who does?
Spencer.
Was that Spencer pouring your wine earlier?
It was.
Spencer, show your face.
Come here, Spencer.
I'm just here to support, Scott.
You're doing a good job. I saw that wine bottle tip out there, poured it in there. Man, that was pretty slick.
That's a good dude.
That's me.
That's a good dude.
Refueling.
He knows how to please me. There
He
you
ain't
go.
ignorant.
Nope.
Hey, you want? Oh yeah, he is. He just said he wants to drive that new Nitro Pro Mod.
No, he is. Ignorant. Yeah.
I'd love to be the first guy to 300 in one of them door cars.
Fuck off.
Yeah, Crystal don't like me talking about that either. But
Yeah, me and Chris.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna like try to go like, that car did that Studebaker did go the 8th mile a couple of times, good, and I thought it was slow at the time, and it went like 340 something at 241 or something, and I thought, man, that's a pig. What a piece of shit.
What a slow piece of fuck.
And I'm looking back. Aaron Brooks is the one who told me finally. He said, Scott, look at this. You got to slow that thing down. You're getting carried away here. You're getting wild on us, you know. Him and Bobby Lagana got me calmed down a little at the end, but still didn't work out. I always said that car was, you needed a tetanus shot to be around it. And
I need more. No, get back to the pouring of wine.
Jesus.
So, okay. So it's there we go. See, it's a dark side of it, but
that's awesome.
It also is what makes Scott Palmer the coolest MFer on the planet of Earth. So you have been through some of the most extremely spectacular situations on the planet. You're like Lyle. You guys have 48 lives. You're like cats. We've got some things, some videos lined up. Stevie, I don't know if you're the one pushing buttons or if Molly is.
I'll let Molly do it because every time I take control of the media center, things go awry.
Let's go older. Let's go the big one first. Then we'll do the strawberry field.
Yeah, strawberry field was smooth.
Strawberry.
It was not smooth. I watched it. There was nothing smooth about that.
No, we've got it. What do you just speak right now when you watch that? What do you think?
It looked like an airplane crash. It looked like a plane crash, not a train wreck, a plane crash.
Your body was inside that MFer.
It was Air India last week.
You see that telephone pole at the end? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott just happened to be in seat 11C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show is unhinged.
It was wild because I remember everything up until the wall ended. And as soon as it dug into the dirt and started barrel rolling, I don't remember anything after that. But I remember everything hitting the wall. I remember thinking, I'm going to go 50 more feet because I was going to, J.R. Sandlin's my buddy. He's like been one of my best friends for life. And he's had that 70 Chevelle that's got a nitro motor in it that I was racing. And it's right here too. But I just told him too, man, we're going to leave slow. We're at a Harley bike track. We're not even at a race. Nobody wanted to go. I mean, you know, it's pretty sketchy, which I don't know if you've noticed or not, but that follows me around. But so I just told him, I said, hey man, these things are going to leave soft. I bet they have one flat 60 foot. We're just trying to limp them down through there. But I said, man, I opened a couple of clutch flows, one at 1.5 seconds and one at 2 seconds. And I'm going to come around you at the finish line like you're sitting still. I don't think I've ever won and got to the finish line first against that Chevelle. But this time I thought I was just going to blow by him. So when it just barely started to spin. I remember thinking in my head, I'm going to go 50 more feet and shut off, and I might get him. Don't do that. Spencer probably knows this now too, in a short wheelbase car with a nitro motor. You can do that in a dragster. Dragster, no problem. You can smoke them through the lights. Yeah, I will not do that. 50 feet got me. It got me. I got to fix
always the last 10%.
It is.
It's always good till it wasn't.
And you know, I was laying there. They got me out of the car. Joey Gallegos, he was running his front engine car. This kid, he runs over there. Anyway, he drags me out of this, and this is still burning. Shit's burning all the way down the track. I left fire from start to finish. There was shrapnel everywhere. I mean, I ran over everything at the track, including the light pole. The only thing I didn't hit's our hauler, I think. That's the only way we got it home. But yeah, it's terrible. But I was laying on the ground, and they're cutting the fire, trying to get the fire suit off of me. And I don't know. I mean, I know Lyle does, but Brandon Sandlin with the Junkyard Studebaker, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yep.
His dad is J.R. Sandlin with the red Chevelle. That's his dad. So Brandon was there, and the paramedics couldn't get my fire suit cut off. They were fine. That's when I kind of came to. I'm trying to cut my fire suit off, and he said, give me the fucking scissors. I'll cut it off myself. And Brandon grabs them out of there and cuts my fire suit off. And I can tell everybody thinks I'm like dead. I'm serious. My visor was down at the time, and I couldn't see out of my visor. Come to find out, it busted all my blood vessels in my eyes. So the inside of my visor is covered in blood. So I can't see out the visor. So I just keep thinking, man, and I was laying there thinking, they think I'm dead. That's pretty wild. So
you like remember thinking that?
I remember thinking that. So I start reaching up here trying to raise my visor with my right hand. Well, my arm's broken half. So Ricky's standing there, Ricky DeCousin, he said, stop moving your fucking hand. It's broken half. So I quit doing that. I raised it up with this one, and I can tell everybody's still really scared. And I said, hey, where's Crystal? Where's Crystal? So I'm yelling, where's Crystal? She walks over there, and I said, by then they've got my fire suit off me. I said, hey, don't look at my unit. It's all shriveled up right now. She didn't think it was real funny that I said that, but I needed everybody to know that I was okay.
And that you were like you.
That it was kind of okay. And she just kind of looked up and said, he's okay. He's okay.
Hey, the fan that called Palmer ignorant.
He's right.
No. When you're on fire and they have to cut your fire suit off and your arm's broken half and you think you're okay, do not mess with that guy.
No.
Like I'm just telling you from experience, because I have messed with that guy before and it did not go good.
It don't matter. Even when you're old. I know that I'm old and you can't do that. Whatever, you do whatever you want. You know who else proved that? Jim Head will prove it to you.
I know.
Jim Head will prove it to you.
Yep.
He's my hero. Jim Head is my hero. He's a badass.
I never knew. He was one of the like 3 people at the racetrack that I didn't have a personal relationship with. I've gotten to know him over the past 6 months, and I even told him the other day, you may be this bad MF or whatever, but I'm going to expose you as a nice, kind, soft human being. Because he is also that, but that guy is not to be fucked with.
Don't look
at
my unit.
I told Crystal, don't look at my unit. It's all shriveled up.
Oh my God.
It was. I just went through a fire and taking out telephone poles.
Yeah, you weren't exactly just rocked up.
Well, maybe.
Excited at the time.
No, I mean, I think he would tell you if he was bricked up.
I would have. If I would have passed JR at the finish line, I might have been. But I don't think I got it done.
There it is.
Play the strawberry patch.
So then we move on to the next one.
And I just got recovered some from, feeling
normal. I mean, you were still on the recovery tour.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go to the World Series of Pro Mod, and here it goes.
Yep.
I was on the starting line for this one, and it felt from this moment to when you got out felt like 49 hours. So what were you thinking right there?
Honestly, I thought I was thinking no problem.
Oh, that was a problem,
Scott. The tow hook is going to pull that throttle pedal up, and I'm going to have no problem. Because I'll tell you something, in a top fuel car, that whole crash is my fault too. The only thing you don't ever do in a nitro car, never, not even idling, hit the kill switch. You never do it. So for 20 years, I've never hit the kill switch. You do not hit the kill switch. So the last thing on my mind was hitting the kill switch in that Pro Mod. I should have thought about it. I had plenty of time because it seemed like forever. But I hit the chutes, and then I didn't get the lever pushed far enough. And then I pulled up on the tow hook. That didn't work. And then I just said, I got a spare motor at the trailer. Remember, because I'd asked you, Stevie, about I put a sleeve in it.
Yep.
And that was on my spare motor, and I had a 500 short deck sleeve and standard deck block. Yep. And he goes, yeah, I'd mark it. So I put it in there. Anyway, so I was thinking this. I've got a spare motor. Fuck that motor. I put it in neutral in the last 300 feet. I think it's still going to stop. But when it started that bouncing, you can't get on the brakes. You got to get off.
Play that one again while he was talking about it. Play that again.
Look at that light. Hey, wasn't that a great light, though?
Yeah, that was good.
Man, yeah, that was good, Scott. Good job.
I'm good on that transfer.
And there's the bouncing.
Yeah, once it does that, you're in trouble. Once it starts sliding.
The air that happens here. When you hit, boom. I went down there, and the amount of space from that first chunk that you took to where the car
Yes.
landed is so
Well-
much further than that video looks.
Yeah, it was like
When you
a
see the
bulldog.
fuel tank come out of that thing and it not catch fire, that saved you. When that fuel tank come out and sprayed that methanol, I'm glad it didn't light right then.
Talk about the first few moments, because Don O'Neill, whatever it is, was the first one on there. Worked for Flow Racing at the time. You heard him screaming for you, correct? So I want to know, once you kind of got settled and things were turning around, what did you hear? What did you feel? What did you smell?
Well, as soon as it stuck in the dirt, I knew it was going on. I really thought it was just going to tear the front end off and tear the hell out of everything and skip across the dirt and stop, eventually. But when it stuck in the dirt, I knew it was going to be a ride. So when it stopped, as it was flipping, I could feel the dirt hitting my arm. So I just had a death grip on the steering wheel, and I could, they can't fix this hand again, so I can't hurt it again. So I had a death grip on my Mark Mickey, my M&M shifter. I had a death grip on it. I mean, there was no way. I bent the bracket. It's wadded up over here by the transmission by the time I'm done. But I still had a hold of it. I'm not losing that hand. So anyway, I get stopped. I'm like, okay. And what? Not, that was not bad. I know it was bad, but it wasn't.
I'm alive.
I'm getting out. I'm unbuckled. So, but I reached up because I was kind of halfway on my roof. Reached up, put my hand on the roof, unbuckled my deal. Got one leg out, and I was struggling to get my foot over the bar. And Don, and he's a damn good runner. If you've seen that whole video, that
was military, like there.
He can run, and he was yelling at me, "Stop getting out! Stop getting out! We're coming to get you! Stop!" And he's yelling at me to stop. And I was like, "No, fuck that! I'm out of here." So I get out, and then I stand there, and they're trying to get me not to walk off. And I said, "I'm walking off." Crystal's on the starting line. I know she's panicking. I can hear the drones, which is weird. But I remember hearing the drones. I was like, "Hey, Don, I'm walking out. Walk with me or watch me walk. I gotta go. I gotta get moving because I'm not hurt." And he grabbed my helmet and spun it around and said, "You look in my eye and tell me you're okay." And I said, "I'm okay." So we walked out. We walked out of there. I felt like Bigfoot walking out of the tree. It was pretty wild. But
and then you posted a picture. Lyle, I think you were the one that did it.
So I was standing at the back of the hauler. I think I was packing chutes. And I heard one go too long. Like we'd been, how when one's gone too long. And somebody said it was Palmer. And I was like, fuck. So I got on the scooter and I haul ass down there. And they're trying to stop me and Dwayne Mills from walking out in the strawberry patch. And I was like, oh, I'm with him and you ain't stopping that son of a bitch.
No, Dwayne was on a mission. Yeah.
So they got out there and they got Scott to the ambulance. And I'm walking that way. And they're like, you can go over there. So I open the door. And I step in, and the first thing Scott said was, "Wow, that was spectacular, wasn't it?" Like, no. But yes. At the same time, yes, it was.
But I mean, if something like that's going to happen, you want it to look cool. I mean,
it did.
But anyway, I mean,
one thing that's always been funny is like when you crash one bad like that, the things that you remember during the crash are just weird. Like the first time I slid one on the roof, this was a long, long time ago. I didn't have my visor down. And this thing's sliding on the roof at 100 and something miles an hour. And all I could think about is like that a bunch of rocks kept hitting me in the mouth and they're in my mouth. So I reach up while I'm sliding on the roof and shut my visor. And I'm just spinning around. And you just, the things you remember is just this kind of
Scott had dirt. I mean, like it was crazy how much dirt was on his face.
Strawberry anywhere?
Oh, listen, the car had strawberry sprouts coming up in the floorboards the next morning.
That's so cool.
We took pictures of it. It's pretty wild. One of the things I was most surprised about is Dwayne didn't kill me by the time he got there, because I asked him what it looked like too, and he wasn't impressed that I asked that question while I'm walking out. He wasn't impressed with that. He didn't think that was funny. And then, Billy's retired. Billy Stockton is retired. And Jeff Pierce surprised me because they were helping me. Well, Jeff Pierce had surprised me and brought Billy, because me and Billy have been friends. We've never really raced together, but we've just been friends. Because Billy's kind of wild sometimes, right, Rick? Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's pretty wild. And Me and him get along really good in those times. So I mean,
I have enough Billy Stockland wild stories to
I
fill
bet you
the
do.
encyclopedia.
I bet you do.
That might be a good guess for this show as well.
I won't do it.
He won't do it. He won't do it.
You don't think?
But we just got him back out, and then I crashed the car, and then he was, and I saw him. When I looked up and saw him, I was like, "Oh man, he might punch me. He might, but I'm okay. He might." But he was just, he was devastated over it,
Yeah.
So now I told him. He said, "Well, I should have checked this. Should have checked that." I said, "Don't worry. The next car, I'll bring it right to your shop, and I'll drop it off, and you can just go over the whole thing." So hopefully, we can get him back out because I love that guy.
Yeah,
Something I want to
Love to
bring
see
credit to as we talk about all this, and you brought it up a few times in all of these crashes, highs, lows, everything, is Crystal, because with all due respect, that bitch is ride or die.
Oh yeah.
And I love her dearly. She is one of the most real, raw, just whatever comes, she'll deal with. But she just rolls with the punches. Like, I was on the starting line for the World Series of Pro Mod deal, doing interviews there, and watching her. I'm watching this. I'm not with you. I'm your friend, and that's it. But like, my heart stopped because I don't know if that car is going to come back down. Watching her handle all of this in live and living color as it does, like, does she behind the scenes like panic more or whatever? Is she as calm, cool, and collected as she seems?
Pretty calm, cool, and collected. She's not real crazy about the new Nitro Pro Mod at all.
Well, who would be, Scott?
But I mean, obviously I'm not a good Pro Mod racer, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep trying. I do not care.
But like, she knows that about you, and she loves you and supports you.
Yeah. Like, we're looking at Pro Mods right now. We found one. We're talking about Pro Mods and this and that.
Well, when you get that thing, let me help you with it. I'll help you with it.
But seriously, watching her, like, Stevie, your wife, Lyle, your wife, with Spencer, I've been a wreck watching Spencer in this funny car. That's something, that's a position that I don't feel like gets enough of credit, especially people who understand how these things work and how dangerous they really are and have been through what they've been through. And she just like, all right, he's fine. Let's roll. Like, she's
and
real.
you know that you're like this far away from it. It's over.
At all times.
It's over.
At all times.
But that's just what, I mean, I've done it ever since I can remember. But I will tell you one good story about when I was really hurt with the Studebaker. I got out of the hospital. I go home. I'm black and blue. I can't even walk. So she's got to like get me into the bed. So the next day I decide I'm going to get up. I'm going to get out of this bed. I'm getting up. And I can't. I can't move. I can't move anything. I told her, I said, "Hey, help me get up." And she comes in there and you can't, because I hurt everywhere. Everything hurt. And I said, "Hey, I got an idea. Go in there on the table. I got a ratchet strap. Put that ratchet strap around my back and try to lift me out. Just lift me up. If I can sit up on the bed, I can get up." And she does. She goes in and gets the ratchet strap. I wish I had a YouTube. I should have a YouTube channel on the.
You should.
Yes.
That's a good broad.
She puts a ratchet strap around my back and tries to lift me up, and finally she can't do it. So she gets up in the bed and she just bear hugs me and just makes me get up and sit up on the bed. I mean, it felt like I was crashing again. But I got up and then she'd drive me to the shop, and I would sit in the office chair in here and roll around and think, because by then J.R. Sandlin had already bought this new Nitro Pro Mod, because he asked me in the hospital, "Hey, are you done with that idea? Are we going to keep doing it?" I said, "No, hell no, I'm doing it. No, we're doing it. No, that was my fault. That wasn't the car's fault. That was my fault." So the new car was already here. So I'm rolling around in here thinking I'm going to do something on it. I couldn't even move my fingers, but I did it. I rolled around here the whole winter.
She put a ratchet strap around your ass.
A ratchet strap.
Jesus
right around here.
Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Phil told me that you hear about I'm sure you probably lived it when Scotty used to ratchet strap himself to the trailer floor before he get in a funny car. Phil Schuler said he used to have to put a hook around Scotty's feet, put a ratchet around his arms, and pull his back to where he could get it where it quit hurting enough to get in a funny car.
Yep. Crazy.
You are wild. Well, go ahead.
The Gary guys, the more I listen to these stories that I'm telling about myself, He's right.
Gary might be right.
Gary might be my friend.
Gary's the star of the show.
Gary's probably right now rethinking his decision. Oh shit!
The guy who called him an ignorant, whatever. He goes, "Who's Gary?"
Gary,
That guy went from an ass whipping at Scott's shop to a steak dinner.
yeah, he might get a dinner. I don't know that he would get an ass whipping. I'm like Tony Stewart. I'm down to one limb now, but one limb.
The thing about old racers like me and Scott is we're durable. And like if you can't say nothing else, we're pretty damn durable.
Basically, everyone on this call except me is got
Pretty
multiple
durable.
lives.
Yeah, you're a pretty fragile little rose.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far, ass hat. I mean, I'm not the average gal.
And hey,
I'm no Crystal.
I don't know. I bet
I'm
you
getting
are.
there though. I got me a funny car guy now. I'm getting
Got you a
there.
funny car guy.
I know.
You got to be somewhat strong.
Look, it's underneath. He gets me my wine, my laptop charger. He's good.
Where's that whip at?
Well, this is the only when Shake and Bake's on's the only time where I'm the star.
Oh, I got you. So
The
it's
rest of the world, the rest of the time, I stand behind him.
That's fair enough.
But no, I think we've lived on the crashes, we've lived on the things. We want to talk about the future now. So, what is Scott Palmer doing with the next 6 months of his racing career?
I'm going this weekend to the Midwest race for that orange Cuda.
Thank you.
And I just run. It's John Stouffer's car. Jacob's driving it, but I just run the team because Stouffer's been a friend of mine forever since I moved to Missouri from Oklahoma. So I'm an Okie.
Shout out Thunder.
That's right. So I'll go run that this weekend, and then there's a weekend off. Then I'm gonna run all the NHRA races. You know, I've been working with Doug Foley Jr. and Morgan and those and them guys, but. And I've caught a little bit of flack over that. Somebody told me the other day, I can't believe you're going to do that. So, well, I'm not quitting NHRA. It's not like I'm not going to race. But I said, Pro Mods have 2 or 3 different organizations to run. Small tire, you can go run anywhere. Why do I have to drive to Seattle to run my car on the Western Swing? Why do if somebody else has an organization, why wouldn't you support it? So I'm going to go do that. And honestly, I've got a lot of questions. I look at the haters, and I look at the haters on that, and I think they'll be surprised because there's already 8 cars in each class going. So there's already a full field. And I thought if we can get a full field at the first race, that'll be pretty impressive. And
talk about that a little bit because I feel like it's going to take a race or two to open the gates for it, but we got to bring it up. There's been some shit. There's been we're doing this, we're not doing this, but you've been a firm supporter of it. So why?
Mainly because Bobby Lagana and those guys ran it. Clay Milliken and Daryl, who bought it from Jeffers, has the budget to make this happen. And he's also a racer. It's not like you're talking to a guy who's sitting in a corporate office. He races. And Jeffers has built him quite a few cars, but I mean, he's a racer, and I think he's trying to do the right thing, and I think he's on the right track. But I think it just started off too quick, and there was too much, hope right off the bat. Like we'll say 6 months ago. I mean, we all thought it would start in April, and then once it didn't start in April, and then it kept going on, and things go this way and that way, and it just people are quick to give up on people. That. And honestly, 90% of the people in the world really want to see you fail. Only 10% want to see you succeed.
Right.
Somebody told me this the other day, and it's absolutely true. When you think about it, you're going to realize I'm right. You'll never meet a hater that's doing better than you are. No. Anytime you ever meet a hater, they're always from the back.
And
anybody who's successful doesn't hate.
Right. That's right.
On someone who is coming up.
Right.
Never in life.
That's right. That's exactly right. But I think it's a good. I mean, there's a lot of like Krista Baldwin's coming. Krista has a top-notch car. That car runs as good as anybody out there. Scott Graham, who's a good friend of mine, tunes it. I mean, that car, that's Pat Dakin's setup. Pat Dakin, they'd kick your ass if you wasn't on your toes. Anywhere you go, that car's fast. They're coming. I mean, there's going to be 8 cars there. Yep, they're not full-time touring cars. But one of the things, like when we ran the full season, we were way more competitive. We won rounds. We didn't look at the qualifying sheet. We knew we could qualify. But if you're a part-time team, like all we do, let's just say we step back and we're running 10 races a year, because I don't want to run the full season ever again, because it's just too much for me. I like to go do crazy stuff on the off weekends. But if you're going to be in a field with guys who run 10 races a year instead of 24, no matter their budget, I don't care what their budget is, you still have a legitimate opportunity to win that race. Because those extra races,
you're making a case for my part-time Top Fuel team.
I was
Casual ownership is coming back. Crowdfunding, Shake and Bake Top Fuel.
Do you feel like this is kind of the beginning? I don't know, whatever it may become. Do you feel like maybe this is kind of a home for y'all that have grouped yourself together for that, and maybe the Shake and Bake Top Fuel car?
I think there's way more possibilities over here. Like let's just say, because I have PBR, so PBR is awesome for me because we don't call it a sponsorship. They like it because when I first met them, I told them I was a little rough around the edges. We do stuff. We have cocktails. We do this. I'm not a corporate guy. And that's how that deal happened. They said, perfect. That's what we deal with every day. So there's more opportunity for them just to bring people over and feel comfortable at one of these races and me represent them or have cocktails afterward. And yeah, we can do it at NHRA, but you do an NHRA race. And if I win the round against Brittany Force, let's just say she smokes tires, I win. 9 times out of 10, they interview her.
Why'd you lose? Why'd you lose?
So she's the star. I mean, you know what I mean? They're the stars. They're the full-time guys. Full-time teams get the exposure. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it's bad for the little guys.
Yeah.
When I say little guys, I used to tell somebody that would whine about money all the time with their nitro car. I'd say, hey, there ain't one person sitting in those stands feel sorry for you. You're out here running a nitro car.
Yeah.
So no low budget nitro cars. If you have a Top Fuel car, a nitro funny car, you are not low budget because you have one. And
Phil Schuler's favorite saying: "There's no victims, only volunteers." That's his favorite saying.
Right. Exactly right.
Steve Evans, as soon as the Shadow is back in outlaw trim, we will run that race. Right now, it's a part getting fixed from my explosion. As soon as I get it in.
Bubba Stanton, then you're talking about Bubba.
I know. And we definitely want to match up and run that. When it gets back in outlaw trim, we will do that race. But it's not now. It's not even running, and I have no engines, parts, or car, so I'm not running my mouth.
So
wow. That's wild. I really thought I'd hear something.
Well, when I'm back in outlaw trim, you will. But right now, we're focusing on a different direction. Our engine development program is doing a little something different. Me and Bubba have raced each other a bunch of times for a whole bunch of money, and it's always fun to race them. Got a bunch of respect
down there in Dallas that time.
Oh yeah, got a bunch of respect for those guys, and it's fun racing them. Next time we do it, it's gonna be good.
Before we get too far off the IHRA train, I want to bring up the graphic that Molly has, because on Flow we cover news and whatnot, and certain things that people seem to be most lippy about is this, Scott. So the difference in switching up distances for each race and each class and all of that. Just kind of vague thoughts on that. Is this track specific? Are they trying to do experimental things? What's the real answer to this?
You mean like for nitro cars?
Yeah, just because like when we posted this, we got a lot of responses of like, why would you switch back and forth? What's the deal? Stick to one, kind of just not to give negative attention to the comments.
That's awesome, because that will be awesome to me. I mean, I go and do some 8th mile stuff all the time, and like they're going to, Galot is one of the tracks that he bought, and we're going to go there. Well, that's not long enough to run 1,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you can't run 1,000 feet there.
You're going to be on it doing an 8th mile on a Top Fuel car.
Right.
But like on a sense of
these little tracks we've run some match races on. We've run 270 in the 8th mile at Ozark Raceway, Eddyville, Iowa. We ran 266 or something, and that's all you can do. I mean, that's all it'll take. So you can't go to a track that won't let you do it. But to me, we're going to have a national event there, an IHRA national event, and run 8th mile. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it'll be good. Yeah, you're not going to get over the diehard 1320, but that's over. Those days are gone.
Oh yeah.
And it, I mean, it's just.
Well, and you don't have to go to ZMAX and I love Tyler Crossing on Virginia Motorsports Park or Gainesville or you don't, or Bristol or somewhere. Like, these are backwoods small time racetracks that without the IHRA and without what you guys are trying to do or what you are doing would never see this anyway. Right? Like, ever. I mean, I don't know that Galot's ever seen a nitro car and obviously probably won't until you guys come in there for the national event. But for people to question why they're doing it, like, I mean,
it's just
fucking trying to keep the sport alive. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I tell them the most popular race series or whatever you want to call it for the last 10 years hasn't even had scoreboards. You don't even know where they were shutting off.
right.
No Prep Kings and that series, that whole deal it took over the world for a long time, and you didn't even know how fast the cars were.
It's because the people don't care about the cars; they care about the people driving them.
They do.
And I want to respond to this one more time, and this is my last comment to you. Smiley just took it down. They weren't scared of me the last time. I took $160,000 in cash from them last time either. So when I get ready, you won't have to call me out. I'm easy to.
My last question on the IHRA thing again.
He's probably related to Gary.
It probably is related to Gary. I'm the guy who said something about my hat.
No, Steve's a good guy. He's definitely all Bubba. Yeah. He bleeds Bubba.
Right.
What do you say, Scott, to people who say there's two ends of this? Again, I'm fielding comments, so member of the media here, that the IHRA is either trying to take away from NHRA, or they're going to take over this or that. Is it not great that we have multiple places for these fuel cars? It's been a long time since we've had multiple places for fuel cars to race.
Yes. Yeah, and me and Larry Morgan and Doug Foley Jr., we've worked on this I've been talking to him for a couple of months, just conversations about it. And there's been a couple of comments, well, what if the big guys come over, the big NHRA guys come over? I said, well, first off, they're not. But let's just say that we go to Milan and Kalita needs to test or whatever. Why wouldn't you come?
Right.
Yes. Well, some of the smaller teams, I think differently than most of them. You would think, oh man, here comes the big guys. I don't think so, because I think the equalizer there will be the two qualifiers. You're getting two shots at it. If you look on Friday night, there'll be a handful of full-time touring teams down on the ladder. But you give them the next day, and they're back up at the top.
They figure it out.
They figure it out. You give them 4 shots at anything. But they just don't go in there and back it down right off the bat, where we all start our race weekends off different. We go to the finish line, and then we work on it. They just swing them over their shoulder and send it, and they do that and then if they're not in on Q4, they can back it down and sneak in. But you give everybody 2 shots at it, 100% equalize the playing field.
But to those saying like, oh, this is going to obliterate, nothing's going to obliterate the NHRA.
Oh, no.
And nothing's going to take away anything. And I think that a lot of the haters, whether they're on the IHRA side or the NHRA side, need to loosen up, because if the IHRA can get it together and get this thing figured out, it's like what it used to be, right? But if not, then there's still a main place to play. Nobody's obliterating anyone.
And nobody's even trying to do that.
Right.
Just another option. Nitro cars have no options. We can go match race. I can match race all over the country, probably every weekend of the year for, we'll say, $20,000 for a couple of runs. Awesome. That's great money. That's a good deal. You can go do that, sell T-shirts, come home, have a great time.
Fuel car. You're just feeding me, baby. All right, Lyle.
Here's the thing, you can doing match races is awesome, but we still like to
racing.
We want to win. I don't care about the guaranteed money. I want to win that $50,000. And think about this. This pays more to qualify at. And we discussed all this payout because my opinion is, and Bobby, I had a lot of input on it, but me and Doug Foley Jr. and Larry have talked about this for a long time. If you pay more at the bottom, these little guys will get better. they ain't going to take that extra $5,000 qualifying money and go rent a cabin and go on vacation. They're going to buy some good shit for their car, or they're going to get another crew guy.
Because they're ignorant.
Because they're ignorant. Like
They're ignorant.
we're all ignorant. But I mean, I think it's a chance for everybody to get better, have a good place to go race. And Top Fuel Pro Mod, hell, I can run a Pro Mod any weekend of the year, anywhere I want. You could go run all year long. But if you got a Top Fuel car, this is going to be during basically after Norwalk during the Western Swing. I'd have to go to Seattle and Sonoma to run my nitro car, to race. And I still want to race, you know.
Do they have dates
to
up
win
for
one of these races?
They do.
In the party, we'll spend the whole $50,000 on the party.
We'll be ignorant.
We will get ignorant.
Yeah, well, we've been talking internally if I drive for Tommy Humans now, and I think I don't know that we'll make the full pull for the rest of the year, but I can go ahead and tell you we're going to go to at least 2, and try the Pro Mod deal over there. I mean, the same thing. We've ran some PDRA, we run the Winter Series. I've ran some NHRA stuff. And we're going to give it a shot as well. I mean, they're paying good money. There's guaranteed qualifying money, just like you just talked about, and we're going to go over there and give it a shot.
My girl. Oh my God. I would shit. Krista, I would shit.
What?
Krista said she will drive that bitch back. I would fucking shit.
Oh, I would drive mine back too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can I sit on someone's lap?
All right, we're going to start an ignorant Top Fuel alliance. I want in to the Palmer Baldwin ignorance of Top
Hides
Fuel.
in.
I'm ready to be a part-time Top Fuel racer.
Hides in.
Krista drove the PBR car for me in Dallas the year I crashed.
Krista's a bad bitch.
She's a bad bitch.
She is.
My favorite Top Fuel racer. She's my
The
favorite.
ignorant Top Fuel
What an
alliance.
ignorant,
Like me.
Krista, you're an ignorant hoe.
The ITFA, baby.
We may make shirts. This guy might make us some money.
He may
Ignorant motorsports.
Ignorant
That's ignorant motorsports is 100. That's a thing. If you don't think you're having a sticker on the Pro Mod Winter Series this year, Scott, you're full of shit.
ignorant
That
bitch,
is
instead of
coming.
IBS, it's IMS.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I am hilarious.
Swag available at ktr.com.
Very
KillingTimeRacing.net has all your ignorant. If you find yourself feeling ignorant and wanting to spend some money, go to KillingTimeRacing.net. This is a good time to drop my new hat. Where's my dang hat, Molly?
And if you're ignorant and don't know how to spend it, you can contact Spencer Hat Racing because he needs a sponsor on his funny car.
So everybody's been asking for new hats.
If Ignorant Motorsports could sponsor Spencer's funny car,
Let's see
with
what
Jim Head as an owner, ain't nobody gonna mess with that.
Let's see what Chat GPT comes up with for an ignorant motorsports logo.
Jim would be so in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jim
If you find yourself ignorant and needing a new patch hat, KillingTimeRacing.net has 2 different colors of the original Nitro Piranha back when I was ignorant. We've got them in gray and some other colors. And I've been wearing it all day. Girls like it. It makes you look taller, slimmer, more ignorant, and it makes you think about going part-time Top Fuel racing. So they're available now in limited quantities at KillingTimeRacing.
Killing Time, part-time, fully ignorant.
Oh, the first 15 hat orders get a free T-shirt? I didn't know that, but I guess we are.
And it does not count to your contingency.
Yeah, so first 15 of these hat orders get a free T-shirt. Or is it any hat?
Before long, you'll be promoting a book.
I don't know.
He doesn't know how to spell. He can't write.
I can't. These hats, Molly says
subject,
first 15 of these.
Have y'all seen the Columbus and Milan racetrack that IHRA's got? Have you seen
No.
them lately? They're
No.
awesome. And they've poured millions of dollars into those racetracks. It's pretty wild.
Last time I raced in Milan, I drove my semi-truck with no CDL through the night, 16 straight hours, unloaded the car, got out, ran the race, won it, loaded it back up myself, and drove 16 hours back home.
See, you have good luck there.
Because I was ignorant.
Because you-
A question I've seen here, because at the end of the show, we go through the comments. I'm going through the comments. Quite a few people have asked if you have winter series plans.
Absolutely.
There he
Hey,
goes.
I'm
Chat-
telling you right now, you couldn't get me. I'd sell a Top Fuel dragster to be there. probably
I asked
would
Chat
never-
GPT to make us a logo.
Ignorant Motorsports.
Hey, checkered flags went out with wigs.
Nah, man, we got to have some trashy shit for Ignorant Motorsports. We're gonna pour gasoline on a CBR 600. We got shitty looking logos for our race
Randy
team.
Lynn Ship is your girl for that. She will make something good.
Okay, awesome.
Oh my god, it'll be toothless wonders.
I'm calling Randy as soon as we go.
So yes, you are gonna do the winter series. That's no doubt.
100%. I have some crazy plans for it. I mean, not crazy, but
Not as crazy as last year.
I'll just tell you this. I have some really unbelievable opportunities for it, but I'll still also have. God, I'm stupid. I'm ignorant.
You're ignorant, Scott. You're fucking ignorant.
If you got a 3-blade injector on whatever car you've got coming, it is IMS. Is your
Ignorant Motorsports. Sounds like a bowel movement.
When and if you get that Pro Mod or get in a Pro Mod ready for the winter series,
it does.
You need a consultant. I'll come do it for nothing.
It does sound.
Making a logo.
It sounds like a bowel movement caused by shitty fajitas.
Well, yeah, it does.
So that leads us to our last question of the night, Scott. You already know this.
Yeah.
Wow. Or Stevie, go ahead.
Okay, you want me to fire it up?
Fire it up.
Okay. We just crashed the Studebaker. We crashed into the strawberry patch. We've now got us a part-time top fuel team. Me, you, and Krista Baldwin go to the IHRA or the NHRA. We're up there. We're smoking the tires. We actually crush everybody in the final round. We burn the Dodge minivan to the ground doing burnouts. We light up one of Lyle's Burromaxes on fire in honor of winning. We're hungry and we're tired and we're hammered and we're leaving and we go to the Mexican restaurant. I want to know, after all that happens, are you ordering a big old plate of steamy fajitas or do you not like fajitas?
I don't like fajitas. I'm
Oh, dang.
We're not even
Palmer's
going to
vote
Mexican
is worth
food.
10.
We're
That's
not,
who-
in the pits. There'll be no Mexican food restaurant. We will
That's-
still be partying in the pits.
Lyle's 2 for 300.
Hey,
Don't matter. I got the
loss.
best one. Got the best one.
That's a huge loss for me and you, Stevie.
I really went down in flames on that one. I sold that.
Ignorant Motorsports, not a supporter of fajitas.
no fajitas.
Why?
No, don't like them. No, I'm not a fajita guy.
Is it the pomp and pageantry?
I don't know. I don't like them.
Fuck you, Lyle. I blame you,
Hey, I'm
Lyle
like Adam Rhodes.
Barnett.
I'm a taco guy. I'm a taco guy like Adam Rhodes. Y'all may not know Adam.
It's basically a fajita without the flaming plate, Scott.
Yeah. I don't
Is the
Crystal
picture
says
figure
you're
you've
the
ever
biggest eater you've ever seen. Burn it or you won't eat it.
Gosh,
Me and
damn it,
Lyle
Lyle.
to the fire.
Yeah, I don't
That
want
one's
any.
worth a- Maybe it
I
has
don't
something.
want anything burnt.
No offense, you two. I've had some wine. Maybe it has something to do with how many times you've been on fire, if you like fajitas or not.
Well, I'll tell you what. Grab you a 5-gallon can of gas and a torch.
I didn't steal no fucking iPad.
Roll out there in the yard. Try it for yourself. See if you like fajitas when you're done.
I didn't steal anybody's iPad. Okay.
No. And listen, I like my food really crispy and burnt.
Well done.
When we pit with Dwayne Mills, he cooks steaks and he takes a torch and he puts a propane torch on mine to get it all black. He blackens mine for me. I mean,
We got
he does me up right.
we got a couple folks on our team that we got to ruin steak when we cook them.
Yeah.
No.
I just throw that thing on there for about 30 minutes before it's time to actually start cooking and just destroy it. I mean, like ruin it.
Kate,
Speaking
Kate
of
Burnett,
the-
like the
too, no
steaks
fajitas.
burnt.
Now
Speaking of
everyone
the
thinks
Burromax.
it's not cool. Now that Scott Palmer said
You
it,
see how I teed that up for you, Lyle?
Yep, and I appreciate it. Molly, do we have a graphic for MacFab's new scooter sales
You
venture?
need a good-looking hat or a pit bike.
Oh,
We-
Oh
my
my
Yes,
god!
essentially. Oh my god.
So we are now a dealer for Burromax at MacFab. We don't have
You
any
can
killer.
tell.
We don't have any killer deals on them, but yeah, why not buy them from me instead of straight off the website? So if you
We
need a Burromax-
don't have any sales, but we got some. If you need a good-looking hat or a pit bike, you can tell we're a bunch of broke rednecks.
I tried to get him.
we're ignorant.
We're
We're
ignorant.
ignorant.
We're ignorant.
I tried to get him to
Fucking
rig
ignorant.
the last raffle for me, and the motherfucker never wrote me back.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
But yeah, I do have a raffle going on my Facebook page if you want to risk $100 to win a Burr
I
match.
don't, because we've done it every time. We ain't won yet.
You've done it.
You done bought a Burr Max in the raffle.
Yeah, I bought a Burr Max in the raffle.
around this shop. I got
One of Spencer's crew guys won one of the badass ones.
Yeah, DJ.
Runs 60 miles an hour.
He did.
He ain't got it.
And he told me something like,
They hadn't shipped yet.
Lyle told me to tell you, and I blacked out. It was something rude.
You blacked out, huh?
Yeah.
Was
Well,
it
as soon as he
39
said the
in my
word,
pit?
as soon as he said the word Lyle, I said, "Don't care."
Courtney, you can be the official announcer for the IMA.
Oh, totally. Oh my God.
That's me.
Oh, yes.
See, we're already working on it. My media team hard at work.
Scott, I know Checkered Flags went out with wigs. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good right there. That's a pretty
Oh
good.
my
That looks
gosh.
it. I like it.
That's bad. This is taking a turn.
That's bad.
It looks kind of like Stevie if he had a beard. I've seen him with a beard. It kind of resembles you.
Hey, I'm a good looking guy. That guy looks good too.
Scott, you need a beard, Scott.
I can't do it, man. I tried. I'm like, I
The
can
way
wear
to
it for about a
manhood,
couple
Lyle.
of days, and then I'm like, I can't do it. I'm too old to start now. That's too old.
Fuck, no, you're not.
Hey, how about
you're just
Bobby Lagana's molestache? Did y'all see that last
Oh,
week?
yeah.
Awesome.
All the way
That's
down
awesome.
here. Well, that's a
Dude, it's
sweet.
thick.
It was thick. And
Thick.
he didn't have that at Bristol, did he?
No, he had.
Oh, he had a
full thing.
beard. He had a beard.
And I saw it from afar
Yeah.
from my DJ booth. I'm like, is that Bobby? No, that's not Bobby. Is that? No. Couldn't figure it out.
It's like Ron Jeremy.
It was better than Ron Jeremy's. And then he won, and he did one of these after he won.
It was awesome.
It was wild. Well, this has been
a lot of fun.
expectations.
Dude, anytime you want to come on the show, if you just want to cuss anybody out or anything, you can just come on, cuss them out.
Nah, I don't usually cuss people out. I just act ignorant.
What we need to do is we need to have that logo, and then at the very bottom say "With love, Gary."
So can we get like my punching kangaroo pin? Can we get like a Scott Palmer like punching pin? Bam, bam, bam.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
We just need one with a shriveled unit, and when you hit it like.
Now keep in mind, I'm not tough, but usually like
Oh shit!
Rick DeCousin will be with me or whatever over the years, and like we've been in a few bar fights together, and I'll make sure I got people. I mean, if you caught me alone, I'd probably get mopped up, but we'll see. But
As long as your crew's tough, you're tough.
you better watch out. Our crew is no chump. There ain't a chump on our team.
No, they ain't.
Well, they're
There ain't
fucking
no chump.
ignorant. It's what they are.
They're ignorant. They're all ignorant. We have a good, but honestly, we don't even have a lot of trouble.
Who
Right.
knew the
Don't look
theme
for
of this
trouble.
show would be ignorance?
Yes.
Ignorance is bliss. You
We have
nailed
a
it.
lot-
There you go.
we have a lot of-
Well, this has been awesome.
We're the most peaceful pit probably out there, to be real honest. Until you start messing up our good time. Or
And then things
Shit
can get
can
out
go
of
awry.
control.
We just ate 4
Really?
bags of chips here listening to this.
Low
That's
carb.
ignorant.
You better get a fajita.
Anyway,
This has been an awesome show. Scott, thanks for coming on. You got anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs? Any sponsors? Anybody you need to hit up?
I want to thank Darren Mayer for making my day, telling the story right before I came on the show, because he had me laughing, because it's like you don't think about someone like Darren Mayer never driving a race car, because I've heard him bark out orders like, and drivers or tuners, they're quick to say, "Oh man, you lifted off the gas. Oh, you did this. Oh, it was going straight. What'd you lift for?" And to hear him talking about this car, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome right here."
It's cool.
Now keep in mind, Darren Mayer probably has $500,000 invested in my race team over the years, because
ignorant.
he's ignorant with us. He's one of us. He gets a shirt because
Welcome, Darren.
he quit charging me for blower parts, probably because I couldn't afford to pay for them. So I just get a care package from Darren every once in a while. But I tell everyone he's got to be part owner of this whole operation. But he's a good fucking guy. I'm telling you that. But to hear him talk like a kid in a candy store that's just drove a race car, some of us forget that a 7-second car is so fast, especially on
Right.
9-inch tires. On 9-inch tires, that's like driving on an ice skating rink. It's crazy. But anyway, I want to thank Darren. PBR.
Crystal.
Mark Beatty from Redline. Mark Beatty, what do I do for Redline? I'm a Redline car. I don't do nothing. I do nothing productive for Redline.
Yes, you do.
Nothing.
You're
But,
Scott freaking Palmer, dude.
We're buddies. Stroud, man, John Gentry and Tommy, all them guys, they take care of me. They all take care of me.
Yep.
Obviously, look at me walking out of that thing. That new head and neck restraint that they have, I could actually feel my head like not doing anything. I was like, hey, I'm going to be okay. This is not bad in here, you know?
I called John Gentry yesterday because I'm going to Streetcar Takeover with Beer Money at ZMAX, and the tech there's pretty spot on. My belts are out of date, and I called John Gentry and told him what I wanted and what I needed, and parachute was pretty ragged, so he got me one of those, and all he sent me today was a shipping label. You know, like they are fucking good people.
They're awesome, dude.
Awesome people.
They're the best. I've been testing Top Fuel chutes, been running them on the Top Fuel car. They're working awesome. They're good to work with. It's not like you just, here's your stuff. They want to hear your input. They want to, hey, what can we do? And me
I agree.
and
they're doing that the junior line with Erica too. They've been like so open with it. She's completely in charge of a lot of it, which is wild.
That. I went to Oklahoma City to see the place, you know, because I grew up around Oklahoma City. So I went down there, and whenever we were talking about doing this deal and getting the fire suit and all that, I went down there. I saw the Eric line. It was awesome.
Dude, kids are buying it off the shelves. It's wild.
Oh, I guarantee
cool.
they are.
That's cool.
Pretty awesome.
Nope.
So,
you are the man, Scott. You are absolutely our favorites. And again, I know you didn't believe me. Our most requested guest. So now that we've had Scott on, we're gonna have him on again. Y'all got to start. Who's the next? We've got a lot of guests, but I feel like the headliners.
You might not have me back on because I right before I got on, I read the post somebody made about I do terrible interviews, but I just want y'all to know I don't care. I don't care if I do bad interview, good interview. I ain't here to.
This has been the best.
Just an ignorant motherfucker. That's it.
Just an ignorant motherfucker. Man.
Oh,
that's awesome. Well, thanks for you guys for watching. I really had a blast hanging out with you, and we will see you guys soon. Molly, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Thank you guys. Thanks everybody.